Hello, welcome back in Starbase, and we are once again back at Origin 7. No wait, we're back at Origin 8. We visited Munch last time, which is, I think, not yesterday, but the day before. I'm not actually sure. Anyhow, how are you guys doing? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to space. So we have a quite broad plan for today, which we definitely want to hop back into here first, the SSC, because I have some ships to work on, which you may have seen in the thumbnail. We have, hold up, let me show you. I think I've shown both of these before on stream. We have the Peregrine YOLOL edition, which is this beast. It's quite a YOLO heavy ship for how small it is. And then we have something I've been working on, which I don't think I've worked on it on stream yet. So far, I don't have a name for it yet. It needs a name that starts with the P as well, but I don't yet have a name. It's called the Sussig for now. It's my slightly bigger miner. I have joined the group of people that build tube miners, and I'm building one of my own. It's got 6 lasers, which is, I think, what I'll stick with. I don't think I'll have any more than 6. They are on custom small turrets, which makes them slightly smaller profile, and I can, like, plate them more nicely and stuff. They have little, like, I guess shields around the nozzles. And then I'm gonna put some collectors in here, obviously, and then, you know, overall, it should be a decent ship. It should be a little bit faster on mining than my current mining ship, which works fine. Don't get me wrong, it works fine. But this one, it's such, like, it's a good upgrade. We also have a few more crates on this one. We have 162 crates here, and on the other mining ship, the one I'm using right now, we have 96 crates, so it's decent. Pretty 2000s futuristic. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm kind of a big fan of, like, the mostly relatively flat style, but then having some details in there, like the tanks and these exposed beams, you know. That kind of stuff, I'm a big fan. Also, how are you doing? Are you having a good day? Oh man, I'm really happy with how these, like, thruster pods ended up being. These are, by the way, this isn't flat. This is slightly angled, the outer ones. So theoretically, all the, like, thruster trails should kind of combine into sort of a giant beam in the middle. And then these, I'll have these on a separate MFC so that I can turn them off when I want to. Or maybe even on, like, a toggle switch directly linked to a lever. I'm not yet sure how I'll do that, but we'll see in the future when it finally gets to that. Because for now, nothing here is bolted, nothing here is welded. All of it is just concept and temporary and everything. I've got a few generators in here. I have 4 blocks that are 4x2 generator units with 4 fuel chambers attached, and then one tier 1 enhancer for now, slapped onto it. But I might swap these out for higher tier. Since I'm going, these are tier 1 for now, but they're going to be tier 2 generators. I think the tier 2 enhancers aren't all that, like, they use Corasium, which I'm not sure how expensive that is right now. Let me check. Those propellant tanks are begging for a bullet. Yeah, they kind of are. But then again, this ship isn't supposed to really do much PvP, you know? It's meant to be a ship that I just take and go to, like, my far into the belt station, where there shouldn't be anyone else. Let me check the auction house. That's what I was going for. So it should be relatively safe out there. Corasium, huh? It's a little expensive right now. It has dropped a little bit, not much. People haven't been undercutting for this stuff much, it seems. Exutium alloy. Ooh, alloys have been added to the auction house, quite a few of them actually. 1200 agitite ore. This is, like, at the bare minimum it could be right now. But someone seems to have flooded it with single listings, which is not ideal. What does that go for on the like the ore towers, directly selling to the station? I wonder if that's, I think it's lower. I think it's like 4 something, but I'm not sure. We'll see. For now, I wonder what I should do first. I think I'll just see if I can find anything I can do right now on the Sussig. I'll start swapping out some parts for tier 2, because that is something I am really not looking forward to doing, but I will have to do it at some point. So, any time's as good as right now, isn't it? Oh, I also need glass alloy for this stuff, and I have some preparation for these screens. Igitium is the ore to mine right now. Oh, is it? Aegisium is relatively easy to get to, right? It's like in zone 4 and 5 or something? Or no, not even 4 and 5. It's like 2 and 3, isn't it? Like, it should be relatively widely available. Good to know still, though, that it's worthwhile getting some of that. This needs some interesting beam work, which is going to be kind of a pain to set up. But then it should all be okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect these thrusters yet, because these hardpoints are going to be at a weird angle. And these are all fine. All the maneuvering thrusters are all good. They also need to be swapped out still, and then we have these boxes, which obviously also need to be swapped out. I don't think I actually have any thruster modules here yet, so I'll just make some tier 2 thruster modules real quick, because that seems like a good thing to have for building a ship that uses them, you know? Let's add a combustion chamber. It would seem like that is useful to have. And a nozzle. And then we'll add some... Where are they? Thruster, electricity converter, and propellant converter. These units. Cool beans. Let's make that a module. Make sure we see the modules. Let's make a folder, actually. That might be more useful. Thrusters. Cool. And then we say save, and we save it in thrusters as... Come on. Tier 2 box. Awesome. And then we take a triangle thruster and we do the same thing. Because, you know, that's how it goes here. We do the same thing over and over until we grow bored of it. Except we never grow bored of it. Was sold for 25k earlier. Oh, that is quite expensive for something as widely available as Aegisium. That is very good to know. I may have to mine some of that at some point. Not right now. Because right now, if I do that on stream and I fly out from Origin 8, then I feel like it would be way too easy for people to follow me, you know? Would seem like that is an invite for stream sniping. Which may not be what I should be going for. I've had some issues with thrusters on another ship, the Peregrine, the small speeder with all the YOLOL stuff that I'm still sort of half working on. We'll be looking at that later. I'm working on NecOS on that one, but I clipped some things into each other there, and that worked until I had to add these little like the converters, because apparently those converters have a hitbox that is slightly more strict than the one on the thruster itself, so everything just stopped working. I was needed for something, so I just crazy. Oh, I think glass needs it, right? I believe glass needs, what's that? I keep forgetting the name. Aegisium. So that might be one of the reasons why it's in high demand then. I could see that happening anyway. Let's add some hard points. I think I'll just cram them on like there, and then maybe just this one. And then I'll just have a beam going over the middle. Something like that anyway. Will this snap? It will. Alright. These two and this one I want to have, and I want to copy these over here. I feel like this isn't going to snap now. Oh, how about now? There we go. Huh, that actually worked. I did not expect that to work. Let's select them all again. This is going to be a little bit messy doing this. I should probably hide the plates. That might make it easier. There we go, and decorative plates as well. Then, if we're going to hide stuff anyway, might as well hide everything. Okay, how about this? No? That. Yes! Huh. And then this. Come on. Oh no, wait, it's on that one. There we go. Hey, that actually worked pretty well. Alien, I think. Sells for like 90k. Oh. Yeah, I could see why that'd be a little valuable then. That's good to know. I shall do some mining, but off camera because of safety reasons, you know? I wouldn't mind not being suddenly raided by a random pirate. Thinking, hey, let's have a good day. I prefer just to to casually go and get my ore and then safely come back to the safe zone, you know? It's much more useful to me. I'm building your capital hall right now. Ooh. How's it going for you so far? Is it all working like it should, or has it been breaking like all over the place? Hey, why do you not just go where I tell you to? Okay, you know what? We'll just do a little bit of this, and then we'll do some sneaky rotating. And we'll grab, I believe, oh, I still want to have both of these selected. I think we'll grab this point. And that should supposedly go on there. Yeah. There we go. Now I can just copy this over again like I did before. And that should just make it all work as intended. Let's have a look if we can pull this off. Would be very nice if we could. Let's see. Nope. No can do, chief. Let's turn this off then. Snapping. Like auto snap. Do a little bit of that. Oh, I think I had to rotate it first. That's fine though. We'll just do it like this. It works just fine. Boom. There we go. Huh? This might work. Hey, it does. Ha. Yay. Okay, so rotating does work. That's good to know. Then we can do this a lot easier. I think we can also just copy all of them over now if we want to. But it's quicker to just select a few. So I'll just do this and then do a little... no, wait, not 3. Apparently we only need 1 to rotate. Wait. 2? 2 rotate. No. 3? Weird. So... 1? Oh no, 1 rotate from original position. Gotcha. Boom. There we go, that's all tier 2 now. Lovely. Very lovely. It's all much more efficient. Well, yeah, it's more efficient and it's more powerful, mainly. Which is, of course, for a ship this size, quite important. You need a lot of allium alloy. Ah, I see. So that's what we need allium for. And that is made of what exactly? I just heard Aegisium, and then what else? Also, hey, Hepson, welcome. I just now noticed you're hi there. How are you? Okay, I need more hard points. Because hard points are love and hard points are life. We need them for everything. Well, everything being thrusters, but for all the thrusters. Unless you're using triangles, I guess. I guess we need them for a few thrusters. Okay. You know, I give up. Anyhow, I do need them for these, because they are box thrusters. And box thrusters appear to kind of need them. You know. It's quite useful to have them actually work instead of being just decorative pieces. And having the hardpoints here makes it much easier to swap them out for tier 2 thrusters, because then I can just attach the thrusters to the hardpoints. Makes life easier again, you know? Good stuff, good stuff. When life is easy, then I guess shipbuilding becomes easy? I don't know. Shipbuilding is still hard. It's a freaking challenge and a half. However, it is a lot of fun. I've been enjoying myself building ships for the last year and a half. Has it only been a year and a half? I'm not actually sure. For the last 3,000 hours in... Well, 2,500 hours in Starbase, I've been enjoying a lot of shipbuilding. The 3,000 hours includes 2 moon trips, after all, so that's taken up a bit of time, you know. A little bit. As it turns out, moon trips do take a little bit of time to complete. Especially if you're going at a rather slow speed, like I've been doing. Because my first moon trip was at like, I don't know, I think 100-ish meters per second, maybe 105. And the second one was at like 114, so also not exactly the quickest. But they've both been completed successfully, so it's all good. But they were definitely longer trips than they should have been, or than they could have been. No, I wouldn't say they should have been shorter. It was fine as is. Although I'm very glad that, especially on the CA one, we got, I think it was YOLOL from Frozen Byte in-flight entertainment services to help us out. He came in to bring us some like some audio devices and stuff and some YOLO chips so we could mess around. But that was back in closed alpha, so back then getting free stuff didn't really matter. And he didn't give me any free stuff to help me out on my journey. It was just to break the boredom a little, you know? Now, I've done a little trick because I'm too lazy to walk three. Like we have 4 floors in this house, so I'm too lazy to walk downstairs to get tea. So now I have this giant ass thermo bottle thing to have more tea on hand. It's really good. That does mean I'm going to make some more tea right now, right at my desk, which is very convenient. So give me a second, because that's the one issue with like thermo, I guess bottles or flasks or whatever you want to call them. They're not the quickest in pouring out water. You know, they keep it nice and warm, but man, it takes a while to get it out. Especially this one. For some reason, the hole that hasn't like the cap is incredibly small, and then there's this air vent hole, and it's even smaller. Like it's absolutely tiny, even for such a large bottle. It's weird. I don't know it. I don't know why they did that. Also, let me quickly open a window because it's getting toasty in here. You know, Starbase is a nice way to get some heating. There we go. Now we have some nice fresh air. So we can get back to shipbuilding with some fresh... Well, I don't know the English word for it. In Dutch we have this sentence where like you get back to something with fresh tegenzin, which I have no clue what that would be in English. So yeah, fresh tegenzin. Let's go. Let's remove that module. I don't know why that was there or what it was moduling. Also, I think I have the entire thing, yeah, here. That's good. I will need to separate this into chunks a little bit more. Oh, I also need to do the maneuvering thrusters, obviously. Valkite, Aegisium, and Nurgite. And the only place I've found to craft it is in the green belt on the moon. Gotcha. Yeah, that is a bit of a challenge. I can see why that would be not the easiest thing to do. You know, it seems like it would take a bit of effort. Both going there and then setting up all the infrastructure and stuff. But that must make it extra rewarding when you get it done, I suppose. It's just my kind of weird way to look at things, you know? If it takes more effort, it's more rewarding. Although that probably doesn't feel like that for most people. But that is one of the reasons I like shipbuilding so much. You know, it takes a lot of effort, but it's also, at least to me, incredibly rewarding. Let's see, where did I have the hardpoint for this? Is that where I think it is? That is not where I thought it would be. Oh, but that is because I messed up. This should be rotated 90 degrees. There we go. Now we have a hardpoint in the position it should be. Bam. Okay, and then we take this and we say... I think this one. No, not already selected. This one. And then we say... Bam. Cool. And then we do everything and then we copy it over 4 times. Like usual, you know? The good stuff. Yeah, it seems like alloys have really pushed the reasons to go to the moon. And to the moon belt. Because I'm not sure if there's other atmospheres at other moons right now, but there's definitely very good reasons to go to Elysium right now. Since, you know, even if you don't want just basic glass, or helium for capital ships, I suppose, to, oh, sorry, you need to go there. Which, you know, makes a bit of sense, but also meh. But I think it is good that they're working on getting some reasons to go out places, you know? While I'm not a big PvP enjoyer myself, I can see why there's good reasons to not so much force people out of the safe zone, but invite them out of the safe zone, you know? Having some resources that you need to get outside the safe zone, and especially if there are resources that are objectively better than, like, the basic stuff, I think that's a good thing. Even though I don't enjoy PvP. I do enjoy, like, having the risk, you know? The risk of going out. Let's see, we have 4 more on the front maneuvering shizzle here. And then we have the reverse thrusters, which are also going to be tier 2. Everything will be tier 2. I don't think I'll go into tier 3 parts. I may check out what exactly the requirements would be for tier 3 nozzles. Let me actually have a look. Because tier 3 nozzles require Imrium, which would be the moon ore. So I think I'll stick to tier 2 for now, which are... Oh, that is significantly cheaper. Yttrium and corrodium, and then it requires a little bit of imrium, which isn't... Like, it's not much, but it does add up if you have a lot of thrusters. And then some plutonium, which shouldn't be that big of an issue. I think plutonium is kind of doable right now to get, even if you just buy it. And then, yeah, it's basically just tier 2 with added Bastium. And this, yeah, it's basically tier 2 with added plutonium and imrium, which is not that bad, but I don't have the means to get those resources myself right now, so I'll just hold off for a bit. Like, I do plan to use tier 2 materials now this time, which you can very clearly see by the use of tier 2 thrusters and generators, but I don't yet have a safe means to get tier 3 materials, so I won't do that just yet. Maybe once I get a capital ship up, because that should make it a lot more accessible to me and the gang, if you will. I'm not actually sure. Maybe some people in Epic do have capital ships. I should bully them about it. I haven't actually been super active lately. I've just been kind of playing the game and sitting around and doing stuff. So I should check in and see what exactly is going on with everyone. Do you guys have a capital ship yet? I heard Zero's, like I see Zero's building one, but how about the others? Do you guys have any capital ship stuff up and running yet? Or how about hangar halls? I haven't built any of those yet either. Not even on PTU. So, are they a pain to make right now, or is it quite doable? Because that I do not know myself. I hope they're like collaborating a bit. Hope they work the way they should. But you never know with the old Starbase, right? Let's see. Let's add, yeah, some more of these beautiful tier 2 thrusters here. I will be adding a lot of YOLOL here. I'll have to find a good space for it though. Like I haven't worked in any like server rack kind of areas yet. So for now, this is all just, like the first area is just crates, obviously. I may add like an extra ring in here, or maybe I'll do it in the thruster section, like here on the side. I'm not yet sure, but I'll need a lot of YOLOL chips. Because so far it seems like each of these displays will have like 20 or so chips running, at least. Maybe more, maybe like 50, I'm not sure. But there will be a lot of YOLOL running, and I don't think I'm gonna fit that here. I don't think that'll work. Maybe if I do it like both on the sides here and then here, and then... it might be a little too cramped for that. So I may have to add like an extra little section. We'll see. And then I do also want to have some chips that I can just like debug easily. Have some slots that I can plug them into, you know? But we'll see what I end up doing for that. Also, I'm not yet sure if I'm going to keep these like indents. I do kind of like them, but on the other hand, they are sort of weird. But I didn't want to have everything with these grates. I wanted to have some stuff to break it up. So I had some, yeah, I just added some of these sections in between. And then here as well. All these, like I have these gaps between the crates, and those all have these kind of areas. So I'm not sure yet. Quick question, is there like a basic tutorial in the start of the game? There is a basic tutorial, yes. It's not super advanced, and the final part of it goes into easy build mode, which it sort of works right now. It seems to sort of work, but it's not super reliable yet. I think the tutorial part of it should mostly work. But after that, it has a tendency to kind of get a little annoying at times. It, like, by all means, go and try out the final part of the tutorial with the easy build mode and stuff. But if it doesn't work out, you can always just like cancel it and just do stuff on your own. But the first part, like movement and the basic ways to make money, how to handle your ship, stuff like that is all explained. After that, the game takes a turn that a lot of people seem to not really like much right now, where it becomes basically a sandbox. There's no, you should now do this. Oh, the tutorial does also go into station building nowadays, by the way. Just realized that, but that was not in the tutorial when I started. Hangar hull isn't too bad as long as you don't want to spawn max-sized ship. Oh yeah. The cube thing I heard about, that is, I hope they fix that, because that's a really annoying thing you have to keep in mind. I would love to have like a hangar hull specifically for ships like this. So you just have a long hangar hull, you know? Ships look amazing. Ah, thank you, Moro. Thank you so much. I am mostly happy with it. Let me turn off the modules though, because they look weird. I have a thing here, by the way. This is sort of blah right now. Is blah a word that people use? I don't think so, but it is now. I've just decided that blah is now a word. So something I want to do here is add... Let me see if I can... Okay, for some reason that didn't work. Add some ducts on the side. Like, I think I had them... I think I just had them like this, where these would just like kind of add a little bit of detail. And they would sort of... Hold up, I need to make them the right color still. I wanted to make these... I just wanted to add some detail onto these like tank slabs, because they look a little bland without any detail, so it had to be a little better, you know? I knew I could do better than that anyway. Let's see, I think I had something like... Maybe I had them white. Yeah. Like that, where it just adds a little bit of detail, and then on the front I was going to add a little decorative plate. So that they look a little nicer, you know? Otherwise they are kind of boring. Like this, but then in the middle, obviously. Like there. Oh, someone in the background is dying. Nice. That's great. Here, like this. You're not afraid of these fuel tanks being shot? No, not really. I don't plan to take this ship near any, like, areas where people go a lot. And if I do, it should be quick enough to kind of avoid being targeted in the first place. So it should be alright. And if it does get shot, you know, chances of them hitting the tanks are decent. On the other hand, I don't care. I won't take a ship out of the safe zone, like into an area where it's likely to be shot, if I don't have the means to get it back easily. So, meh. If I do get shot, so be it. You know, they'd have some decent loot, because they would have all these crates that wouldn't be really taking much damage if they only target the tanks. And back here, they would definitely take down the ship, because these tanks would absolutely blow up the generators as well. So overall, it should be alright. But yes, it's definitely not armored up at all. But yeah, as said, I don't really care much about armor. I'm considering, by the way, adding like this over the tank a little bit. Maybe I'll do that actually. That might look better. No, I'm not sure. I may look into adding something like this, where like the plates kind of overlap a little. I think that adds some, like that little bit of detail that makes it just a bit better, you know? Because this kind of hides the gap here, which this gap I don't like. These tanks, their sizes are almost perfect, but just barely not. You know, they just barely don't work out. So maybe if I do this, it'll help a little. But like the 144 plate looks a little weird, I think. Don't like that one as much, so I would use 2 of these ones instead. Yeah, it's the weird things I do for shipbuilding, you know? Also, these are an awful size. I'll have to see if I can add a more normal size to this. I could turn this into like a 272 plates, like these, but they are weird looking. Let me check actually if I can... maybe I can make this look okay. If I do something a little like that at the end, here. If I do, for example, this, then it might not be all that terrible. Oh yeah, these have a weird rotation point, like in the corner, which makes sense for how you're like normally expected to use them. This might not look that bad, though I'm not sure about this, like, I guess the pattern kind of going towards the corner, but meh. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing there. I'll keep one like that for now, so I know that I have the other option. And yeah, this is just the part that I'm the most happy about, these lasers. They are nice, I think. I consider them nice. If you don't like them, that's completely fair, but I think they look better than the like the default turret ones. I also had a plan to kind of add some shrouds around them still, like from the ship out, but then I ended up not doing that. And instead I added these kind of shrouds around here, which I think look better than having some sort of a lipstick up. They look like Nerf guns with the red. That is a very fair point you make. Let's give them orange tips instead. Now they're more Nerf guns. Make the thing itself yellow. No, I guess they work better with the red. It sticks out more. Here, now we'll just make this one Nerf gun kind of laser. Here we go. Oh. It's Nerf for nothing, am I right? Oh, not the laser itself, maybe. It looks a little weird. Here we go. Now we have a Nerf gun. Beautiful. Okay, so... Oh, I have this area as well. I can use this for something. I might stick some YOLO in here. That might actually work. If I have a good way to get down there... Can I fit through here? Let me check. Can I if I crouch? No, I can't really fit through there, I think. Nope. That is too bad. No fitting through there. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna lag a little. But this is one of the very cool parts of the SSC test flight. The entire ship breaking into pieces. The lag is unbearable, but it looks cool. Looks cool as heck, you know? This area is a mess. But man, does it look sick. I wish I could save a blueprint from test flight so that I could make a new heresy blob and just make it like this, you know? Just have the game decide what the new heresy blob is like. That'd be dope. For those of you that don't know what the heresy blob is, you've missed out. And I'll be building a new one soon, so you won't have to miss out again. Now, let's see. I had to connect these hardpoints up somehow. Let's see how the special beams behave there. I feel like they're gonna be a pain. They're definitely gonna be a pain. Hold up. I don't think I'll actually be able to use them. Let's add some other beams instead first. I think these are going to be 72s. Yep. That works out. It's a good start. So far, so good. Now, the next bit will be pain. But until then, we have a nice bit of calm beaming slash plating to go. Let's do a little bit more of that. Because that is nice and easy. I want this to be... Huh? Okay, for some reason that's being weird. Interesting. They changed which of the two... Or well, the beams decided that another beam is suddenly going to be the like lead for the orientation arrows. Which is a little bit strange, admittedly. Lie down. Oh, yes. I guess I could lie down, that is true, but I don't really want to build a ship where I have to go prone just to enter the YOLO cabinet. Then I'd rather add some hinges to make it work more easily. Though you do make a fair point. You first make the whole ship without networking, bolting, etc. until you're satisfied with the loose. I do, yes. That is not to say that that is the best way to build a ship, because everyone has their own way to do it. But that is just my way of doing it. And it works for me. That doesn't mean it will work for you. But yeah, it is something I consider to be just about the easiest way to do it. Then again, the way I build the ship varies per like design goal quite a bit. For this ship, I had a basic shape in mind, like the tube. So what I did is I started with... let me see if I can actually show you. I think I have that saved. No, I don't actually have the crate module saved. Well, I started with basically one of these crate modules, like this. I built this first, and then I started expanding and I built like the tank module. And then I built, I think the thruster... No, I think I built the rear thruster section first, because I really wanted that to be like the same shape. And then I built these maneuvering thruster sections, and then I thought, hey, I need more thrust, you know, I'll add some boxes. And then I just kind of crammed them together. I wanted this section because I just wanted to break it up a bit. So I just kept adding pieces onto it, and they're all modular. So if I want the ship to be longer, I can just cram in one more of these box modules, or the crate modules. So that is for larger ships like this, what I tend to do. And then for a smaller ship, I usually tend to like do the plating, machinery first, machinery devices. So like generators, thrusters usually, most of the thrusters anyway. And then like batteries, flight controls, pilot seat, all that kind of stuff, all the larger parts. Then I do plates around that, then I add beams, and then I add like small things like controls themselves, all that stuff. Though I tend to forget the MFC, which is quite large to suddenly fit in. Also batteries. I forget batteries all the time. It's a pain, because batteries are... Like, they are not that big for a ship like this. I also don't have batteries on here still, I think. Which Kind of just proves my point, you know? Yeah, I need batteries, which I'll just add on here probably. But I tend to forget things like that where they're not that large for a ship like this, but if I'm working on something like the Peregrine or the old Pioneers, which are both like very small speeders for those that don't know the ships, it's a pain because these are like on a ship like this I can just cram like I don't know 40 in here maybe, like in this area, and then 100 more in this area. But if I'm working on a ship like, you know, this, then that doesn't apply. It just won't work. I see you also work in modules, which is good. I can only recommend working in modules, especially if you're building larger ships. But here, I forgot the battery, so I had to actually make the ship like slightly longer just to fit a battery like in... Well, I guess I can better show it if I hide the plates. Like a battery in here. And then I also crammed the MFC in there, so I had to make the beams a bit more janky, where this is only a single beam now instead of being a double beam like the rest of the ship. And then this air, oh man, I forgot I only added a single beam in the middle here, which is, yuck. That is horrible. Never do that. It's yeah. But it works, you know, and this is all connected, and it's all stable. So yeah, that is kind of how I go around building smaller ships. And then here I needed something to fill up this gap, because there's plates and they stick out. Like the plates are a little wider than where I could bolt them otherwise, so I just kind of crammed the beam in there. And I bolted these plates together. Ugh. As long as it works, exactly my way of thinking. I very much agree there. It depends a bit on the ship. My old mining ship, which I also have here. I'm just gonna show off ships now, you know? I've been triggered into ship showing. This one, which is going to take a bit longer to load than the small one, sadly. It's not a big mining ship. It's my biggest mining ship right now that is like in-world and functional. And I think it looks okay. But this one, I actually used sockets, and then I aligned the sockets to place every single bolt on the ship. All these bolts have been aligned through sockets. Well, okay, there's a few exceptions, but almost all of these bolts are like perfectly in line. And these are then like offset by a 24 centimeter offset. So they're all almost perfectly aligned. It's taken a lot of time, but it was worth it. Look at how perfect like this bolt structure is. It may look a little chaotic at times, but if you actually dive into it, stuff like this, it's just perfect lines. It's so good. It's so satisfying. And here too, all of these have been smacked perfectly in the middle of the beam they're on. So hell yeah. So much work. It is a lot of work. It's excessive amounts of work. But at some point, you know, keep in mind, I've spent 2,500 hours in this designer at the moment, like at this point. So at some point, you just start I don't know, getting your kicks out of stuff like this. At this ship, I will probably try to mostly bolt in a hidden way, like I did on the Peregrine, you know, the small speeder, where the bolts shouldn't be visible at all. And I'll also, because those have just recently been added, use weld cubes a lot. Weld cubes seem to be very powerful tools for ships like this. Let's see if I can add... Yeah, I can just add these here as well. That's good. That makes life a bunch easier. These have beams going through. That's very nice. They have beams going through in not that many areas. I may have to reinforce this section a bit, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes to that. For now, let's just hide the plates again. And we'll do the same thing we did earlier, where we just move beams around until it all works together. Because that is what we do here. Moving beams till the beams work like we want them to work. For we are the beam squad. But yeah, this is like a large... This is one of the things that takes up the most amount of... Or the largest amount of time, just working out the right kind of framing for the ship. Especially if you're working with complex shapes. It just takes forever. And then getting the like plates and beams to work together is incredibly hard. A lot of people kind of like tend to give up on the designer when they like start working on a relatively large and complex ship. And I think that's kind of a waste, because a lot of the people I see build ships do more than have the potential to build like really complex and cool ships. But then they just give up because, well, it's kind of a pain to build a larger ship, which I can agree with. But like, they should just push on and make sure they finish that ship at least, you know? It's so much cooler to have a finished ship than to have a, well, non-finished kind of dead in the water ship. Then again, I can't blame them. It does take a lot of effort and a lot of dedication to especially get your first ship up and running. Like, there's no real way to troubleshoot much, like, while you're building. So, I can see why it can be quite discouraging for people to be building a ship and just not know whether or not it'll work. And that's just something that you kind of get used to over time, you know? Like, there's no... Well, there is a lot of logic to it, but there's also just experience, which helps a lot there. And you do notice that with a lot of people, that they just start thinking, okay, you know, this kind of shape and this kind of beam, I guess, density will work just fine. Third day of travel. Ooh, nice. Yeah, your first ship, one side offset. Oh, no. Yeah, that's quite painful. Were your calculations home is really far away? Oh, yeah, I can imagine. It most likely is if you're going to a moon. Why do you... Okay, you do snap. Oh, I already added a similar section here. Well, I don't need that anymore, because that is wrong. This is better. It's more spaced out. And that's a thing that I need to get used to, and a lot of people need to get used to with me, is that nothing... Or, well, things aren't likely to go right the first time. Like, most of the ships I build nowadays take at least 30 to 50 iterations before they are in the state I think they're good enough in, you know? And that's something that I really have to get used to. I don't like building something, not knowing where it's going, and then ending up not being happy with what it is like. Hey, Deco, how are you? At this speed, you're going to reach in a bunch more time. Where are you going exactly? Like, you are going to a moon, I assume, right? If you're traveling for that long? Or are you going, like, around EOS? Doing a little bit of road tripping in space. Which either is completely cool, you know? Both are cool things to do. And things I will... Well, I can't say I haven't done either of them. Definitely done some... From PC to bathroom... Oh. Nice. Well, that is an important trip to make, you know? Can't exactly skip out on that one. It's, yeah, it appears that humans do need to go to the bathroom every once in a while. I've heard people say that anyway. I call them crazy, but like... Turns out they might not actually be. Okay, this'll do okay. I'll have to remove all of these, though. That's sad. Now real talk. Oh boy. Are we getting the real talk? I'm scared now. But yeah, a Solar Explorer from Happy Trigger. I see. I haven't seen the ship, but I am... If it's a Happy Trigger ship, the guy seems to play Starbase quite a bit. So I can imagine it's a decent ship. I'm not a super big fan of solar on ships myself, purely because of the inefficiency it has for like the mass you use for it. For most ships, it's just more efficient to use... Oh wait, this is already updated. Ah, no, undo. For most ships, it's more efficient to use generators. But then again, if you go over a certain threshold, you'll be better off using solar. And it's just really cool not to have to ever touch anything on the ship. You know, that makes it quite user-friendly. I smell a Sankey. Well, that could be. I hope you don't actually smell me, because you're quite far away. If you would actually smell me, that would be both creepy as well as not ideal. Blia. Is that like nya, but weird? It just woke up. Oh my god. Graf, did you stay up the entire time Munch stayed up as well? Did you adopt his sleep schedule? Please do not adopt Munch's sleep schedule. This is not a good idea, Graf. You know this. Yeah, oh my god. Dude, come on. Don't do it. Don't be that much like the Munch man. Okay, I respect the guy's dedication, but also Sleep's important, man. Your sleep schedule is well fucked before you met Munch. Fair enough, but it doesn't need to be that fucked. Just mine tends to sync with it. Ah, I see. You guys are in sync, bro. I usually like just 2 planes to move parts. Oh, what I do is, you know, you have this tool, and you click on one of the squares, and it highlights 2 arrows. It's kind of a pain to do because at certain angles you just can't click them. But if you click one of like the yellow squares, you can select 2 planes or 2 lines at once, which is a great tool. It's just weird hours. Uh-huh. Yeah, right. I bet you get sleep at weird hours. Never ever got this. I see. Yeah, the bolts did change. They are now octagonal bolts. I am personally a fan because I build a lot of ships with like weird angles. And before, if you bolted on like weird angles, like if I bolted this, say there, I'm not going to bolt these from the work, but this would look really weird with the old square bolts. Like the, I guess, kind of rounded squares. And with an octagonal, almost circular bolt, this is much better. However, they also changed it where bolts now, if you make them longer, let me show you this. I can actually show this. Hold up. If you take just a short bolt, and then I take this and I copy it over, copy it down a few times, and we take a longer bolt. Now these two, they look similar, right? But this one is like, it has a nice flat head. Now if I remove this, the fuck did they do here? What did they do to my boy? They freaking instead of what they did before, where they had like the flat head still, and then they just stretched the stick. They stretched the entire bolt now, which, don't get me wrong, I guess it makes it easier for like processing because they can all be a single type of bolt now, even though they are still called bolt short and bolt long, so they are still different objects. They just stretched the entire thing. It needs to compensate. I will judge it if it needs to compensate. It's already longer. It doesn't need to like be thicker as well. That's just too much compensation, bro. It's like, you know, instead of going to drive a truck because you feel like you need to compensate, you drive a freaking airplane through the streets. It's a little excessive. And, you know, I will call you crazy for it. This is just not okay. They made my boy dummy thick. I feel bad. It makes me want to just not use bolts at all, which I guess we can do now. Since we have... I think I have this on a hotkey now. Yeah, I do. We have the beauty that is weld blocks. But I don't want to cram my ship full of these little chunks, you know? At some point, this becomes a little excessive as well. Can you paint these? Oh! Okay, they don't paint all that well. But you can paint them! Oh, this makes me really happy. You can paint the... Ah! You can paint the weld cubes! We can now use them as decoration. This is fantastic. I think they are smaller than like... Okay, you can no longer place them on like single plates. But I can still do a little bit of this, you know? Oh, they don't actually collide together anymore. Oh, they fixed a bunch of stuff with them. That's too bad. Sorry, that's good. They fixed them. Obviously. Yeah, I would never think removing bug/feature things is a bad idea. Don't tell Munch that. Oh, I will tell Munch that. You know, I assume Munch is going to stream tonight as well. This is pretty cool. Like, I unironically think this is pretty neat. You know, you can make them orange if you want to. Or I don't know, if you want to make, you know, if you want to have them be green, by all means, make them green. Also, if you paint your entire ship green, for those that didn't realize yet, it looks like it's like completely, fully good on the durability overlay. Say if I do a bit of this, this will all look like it's good on durability. Feature. An update pick of your miner? Hell yeah, I do. Duh. Is that even a question, Graph? Wish they made rounded weld blocks. Ooh, weld spheres. That would be quite nice to have. Stop exploiting. I will not... Well, I'm not exploiting anything. I won't exploit things. I'll just... How do you say this in a nice way? Make things behave the way I want them to behave. Let's say it like that. I will beat the game into submission. However, I won't do it in such a way that can get me banned. I will always do it in a way that is reasonable. Because I don't like getting banned, as opposed to what some people might think. I'm not actually a fan of being banned. Oh, this is so nice though. The fact that we can weld this together. Also, it just works for beams like that, right? Does it? Wait, does it? Does it need a large weld block for that? Oh no, wait, they just have the option to connect to other bits still. Right? Yeah, they are connected. Okay. For a second I was very confused. I feel like this is just because these both have the option to still connect to other beams. Yeah, okay, they do. Man. For a second that got me scared there. That maybe it didn't actually count as welds, which would have been very ironic if they added weld blobs specifically to make beams at weird angles, and that didn't work for beams. Anyone know if we have the tool for the in-world yet? Like in-world building? I don't think so, but it would be very nice to have. Wonder how well you could use these as like decorative bits. Like if I wanted to have some little nubs of like dark gray here, you know, we just cram a few of these in. Or if I wanted them to be red. Oh, let's maybe make this a little smaller again. Could just have some tiny little red decorative bits there, which honestly, it's quite nice. Send. Oh, let me check that out. Hold up. Let's show graph ship off. Oh, hey, you got a quite different front on this one. How's it going though? Is it like, does it look like it'll... Let me show that. Boom. There's graph ship he's working on. It's, you know, quite big. Man's a big fan of building large ships. It's quite chunky. But how are the limits looking, Graph? Are they any better than they were before? Or is it still going to be like a very tight fit? If at all. This one will finish? Oh yeah. Sick. Like 100+ subs on YouTube 4 days ago. Jesus. Congratulations though. Wow, that's a lot. Only 5.k, 8 objects. Only. How many objects do I have here right now? That's not the object thing. I am at... Can't even find it. Objects. 3600. Oh. That's really not all that many. Then again, this ship isn't all that big. I can easily make it much bigger, but why? Yeah, I don't know. Still got 250 mil, and that's with all the old parts left. Oh. Nice. You're doing good then. I look forward to seeing this one in World. How expensive is it going to be? Is it, like, how unreasonably expensive will this monster be? Didn't even post a vid on that day. Usually, like, was it by any chance, like, near the latest patch? Time-wise. Because that would be a good reason for people to suddenly start, like, streaming in. Sure you want to see the price? Well, yeah, obviously. I am very curious how expensive it is. I feel like it'll be way too expensive. Oh yeah, thrusters don't unpaint nicely. Let's make them white. Oh no, the grills are still going to be dark? Okay. Oh, I guess I'll have to unpaint everything for shit. You know what? Let's actually make sure we lock deco plates and normal plates. And everything else, yeah, everything else, we can make default color again. Oh, I guess maybe except crates and tanks. Because those actually need to be gray. Okay, so we lock devices as well. And then we go over and say, everything is... Oh yeah, tanks aren't devices. Shit. Anyone know how to repair hinges? Can't change the negative angle. Wait. What is wrong with the hinges? Like, what happened to them? Uh-oh, I have received a picture of price. I will open that in a second. First I need to get my tanks painted again. Because I did the dumb. I guess I could just paint all the machinery. Well, I don't want to paint the generators though. 1st of May. Yeah, like in game, but how? Like, why do they need a negative angle? Like the easiest way would be to smack it into the the repair hall, but that would also cost you a bunch of materials. 1st of May. Oh, so close to the big update. Yeah, that's fair. I guess that would be probably related, but still, that's quite a bit. That's insane. It's awesome. Like, I am really happy to see the game get some attention, but on the other hand, it's also kind of scary since I'm not sure it's fully ready to get all this attention yet. So there might be a lot of people among those streaming in now that aren't, like, for whom the game isn't ready yet, you know? That's kind of the scary side of it, I guess. Makes me worry a little bit. Then again, it's just really cool to see all the activity. They go positive, they will get jammed. Oh, I see. That is interesting. I'm not actually sure what that's about. Like, I haven't really had a similar issue myself yet, but I am very curious to know what would cause it. I've heard more people have, like, weird issues happen lately. So I'm curious why that is and why specifically now, you know? Guess I have to replace the whole hinge. That would be easiest, I guess, but also a pain to do. It's annoying that the repair hall doesn't see it. What you could do, if that is easy enough to do anyway, you could try to take the hinge off and then take it to the repair hall. If you want to just save some time. But then it would cost a bunch of money in material. Which is, I guess, just a consideration for you to make. Now, what I would really like to do is have this somehow, like, here? No, here. Because I need this to be attached to both of these, but I also need there to be more thrust. See ya, Techo. Thank you so much for checking in, dude. I'm glad to have you around. And I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Good luck. Have a wonderful stream then. And may the subs flow in nicely like they do, or like they did last while, I guess. What's a good word for that? While? Just when the big sub flow happened anyway. Taco. Oi. Close enough. You are now Taco. Taco PC. Let's go. Nice and tasty, you know? Yum. Techno. Yeah, to be fair, I can see why they would, because it is a similar looking name. But it is Techo, right? At least from how I would read it. It would be. Not sure if the pronunciation and everything is right, but if people dislike that, they'll just bully me about it anyway, so it should be alright. Yeah, gotcha. I can imagine it being fun when people read it as techno. Though it is a more common, commonly used word. So I can see why they would mistake it for that. Okay, this would work. Like, this I can bolt just fine. Maybe even from here, no, but from here? Yeah, this I can bolt easily, you know? With the thick bolts. You see how it say hoof in Spanish? Huh. Interesting. I mean to get call. I see. That is interesting. You might have forgotten about the maneuver thrusters at the back, so I'm trying to fix that at the moment. Uh-oh. Are you gonna use, triangles as maneuvering thrusters, or just actual maneuvering thrusters? I would assume, triangles or boxes, in the case of your ship, but I tend to stick with maneuver thrusters, even on larger craft, usually. Desho. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've been pronouncing it in what I would assume to be the English way. But then, I guess Desho makes sense as well. I see. Why is this not working? Okay, there we go. Awesome. That would be, if I were to, like, very literally pronounce it in Dutch. Like the way it's written in English, but then... Or like, just the way it's written, and then pronounced in Dutch, you would say it differently. Either Tesho or Techo, which... The second one is just a word, like a G sound that no other language ever uses, because nobody is stupid like that. We have like this weird super hard sound, which is just, it's literal throat diseases. Or Techo. Yeah, Techo is what I would, well, not so much in Dutch. Like Dutch doesn't really have the CH being a K sound, I think. Now I'm trying to think if there's any examples of words that do have that. Tier 2.5 thrusters. What do you mean it's, what's a bug there? The thrusters being like multi-part that you can choose which ones you use, that is more than intended. But it's Portuguese, I gotcha. Actually, like, I've been to Portugal once, but that was only in one of those, you know, party areas. So I don't really know what Portuguese and Portuguese culture is like, but that was definitely fun though. But yeah, you can definitely just combine thruster bits, and that is not going to be patched out because it is an intended behavior. Luckily, because that is a nice thing to do. Then again, the optimal strategy is definitely to have like tier 2 bodies and then tier 3 other bits, I guess. Assuming you're just going for maximum, like, kind of efficiency, which not everyone would do. Why do you use tier 3 thrusters? If you really need that extra, like, bit of boost and less mass. They're lighter and they give more thrust, but that is the only reason to use them. For most ships, you would be better off using tier, like, mixed 2 and 3. Yeah, tier 3 is just a lot more power hunger, or in general, like, thirsty, I guess. But they are very powerful. So, yeah. There's reasons to use them, but not reasons for everyone, really. Now, this is going to be ugly. You're learning a bunch in this stream. That means I've achieved my goal as a Starbase streamer. Helping people learn more about the game. And of course, myself learning more about the game as well. Ooh! Something very exciting for me happened today. I finally have been able to order fiber. Like a fiber network connection. So, well, it's probably not going to be soonish. It's probably going to be a few months. But we should have a super nice, high-power network connection. Which is going to be super cool. Just note tier 2 if you want to be efficient. 2.5. Yeah, tier 1 is just no. I use tier 1 only because... it makes this ship really affordable. Like, I like going for that incredible affordability. And I want to just... Like, I have some ships that I want to be able to get purely using safe zone materials. But other than that, there is no real reason to ever use tier 1, you know? But yeah, I just like building sort of starter ships. And yeah, I do need to check the price. Let me actually open that up. So, oh man. So the required is what you want to be looking at. Which is 1,445 stacks so far. Graph, what the fuck? Are you a little crazy, man? 145 stacks of Arcanium. Jesus. And 347 stacks of ice. Dude, no, just no. I like how there's only 14 kilovoxels of Nergite. What's the Nergite gone into? Is it like, I don't know, buttons or something? Ignore the 170 stacks of Cutonium you have laying around. Well, I guess you have enough Cutonium then, yeah, that's true. And enough Carnite. But the rest, my dude, you'll need some more. Definitely, Arcanium is going to be quite a pain to get. Is there like Arcanium in the area where you're at? It'll be 400 stacks when it's done. Oh my god. The buttons on the old cockpit, I see. Live in Zone 5. Yeah, that's true. I was wondering what kind of materials there are in Zone 5. Because I haven't been there yet myself. And I don't have the maps or the Like the information thing's open right now. So, but yeah, if Arcanium is available there, then I guess it's much easier than if it wasn't, you know? Logic. Big brain thinking here. Will this fit? It might either just barely fit or just barely not fit. And we'll soon find out. Stick around till after the ads. No, we don't do that here. The only ores that I will struggle with are moon ores and vocarium. But you guys have some people over on over at Elysium, right? So those should be able to gather like, oh Jesus, sounds quite loud. Hey Moro, thank you so much for the subscription, dude. Because that is how YouTube works. I am still a little bit used to like Twitch terms with like follows and subscriptions being quite different than here. But welcome to the YouTube family. You're one of us now. Now let's see if I can make this actually work like I want it to. This won't do all too well. I'll need to use 48 beams here. Corners. These are a little meh. I'm not a big fan of the 48 corners, but they will do. Oh, really? Well, I guess the overlay is a bit slow. Like, how is the stream delay normally for you guys right now? On my end, it looks like it should be alright, but I never dare say for sure, you know? Okay, yeah, this is still a little too far in, so I'll have to move this back a little. It's good. Okay, nice. Of course, there is stream delay and there's just streamer delay, where I am just being slow. And I hope it's mostly just me being slow. Just YouTube being slow. Well, if YouTube is being slow, that is out of my control. If it's me being slow, it's easy enough to fix. You know, I just need to eat more sugar. Let's see, I used 30-degree beams here. Because using a 15-degree, like, kind of setup... Oh. I have created an issue. This won't actually fit. Doing all my beams this way makes them too big. Can I fit that here? No. No, I cannot. That'll be a problem. No, wait, I can. Hold up. I can totally fix this. Because I have a connection. Oh, I have a connection. I said here that I can connect to there. Yes. That should do. I might even make these the smaller ones again. Because I can't be arsed, I shall pipe cable the mess that is the front. Nice. And yeah, I guess as long as having conversations is doable, that means both that YouTube is being fast enough and that I am paying enough attention. Which is, of course, a very important aspect in streaming. Trying to pay attention to what people are saying. That's like, I'm not sure how it is for you guys, but when I'm watching like live streams, it makes me just really dislike watching them when someone doesn't reply to whatever people are saying. You know, when they're just doing their thing and not responding, it really makes it hard to watch. I'm not sure if you guys agree there, but I really do think that. How easy is it to make mining laser turrets aim where a laser finder turret is aiming? Like a laser designator turret? If you're using the advanced turrets, like the advanced cradles, that is incredibly easy. If you're using the basic cradles only, it's a little more involved. Hey, why are you not working then? Why do you have to be different? Okay, it does work. Agree 100%. No worry about the caps, dude. Let's just say you're nice and enthusiastic, right? It's a good thing. Let's make these the normal axes again. Cool beans. I don't even watch streams because I find them boring. Ah, well, I'm very glad to hear that you enjoyed this one. They would all be on the same height. So why I say, let me show you this actually. Like why I say the basic cradle is kind of challenging, because for the advanced cradle, if you want to set up, I need to grab the right stuff then. That would be under utility. Yeah, we have the turntables don't matter. We'll need turret cradle advanced and a normal turret cradle. Like on this one, you would just have your can grab a mining laser from here. Give me a sec. Grab, no, just a laser. So, bloop. On this one you have your mining laser, which is all fine and stuff. On this one you can have the mining laser, and then the new thing, which is, if you take a fixed weapon mount 1, maybe that was actually the right way around. Oh. Ah, rotation is hard. Okay, rotation is really hard. And then we take a tools. We have the utility body too. Like this one. And we say, take a laser tracker, slam that in there. This can now, without any issue whatsoever, you'll need a little bit of YOLOL, but that's it. This can now track a laser tracker, or a laser designator. Boom, done, easy. It's too big and too bulky, IMO. Well, you could always take this setup and do some funky, like cable routing and cram it on here. Oh, well, if you don't mess up like I do, obviously. Like just bolt it on here. That would be your easiest bet. Like using this setup, you would need a hardpoint though, but this would be your easiest setup to use. Because this thing just makes it really easy. Otherwise you'll need to do a good bunch of trigonometry to make it accurately aim, which sure is doable, and it's especially doable now that the what's that? The I can't even find the word for it. Like professional chips are available, but it's still not ideal in my opinion, having to use it. Just realized I didn't unpaint my crates properly. So I have 1 rangefinder turret and then 4-ish mining turrets. I see. Wait, a rangefinder turret even. You should use a laser designator and then laser trackers. They're good. Yeah, you could do that, obviously. But using an advanced cradle is much easier. But yeah, you can definitely have it track using a rangefinder. Or using like a laser designator and then a single laser tracker somewhere. But you'll need to somehow like be able to figure out the position of your turrets relative to that laser tracker, which is doable. Like you can just hard code that, and then you'll need to do a bunch of trigonometry. But that is, now that we have the professional chips, it's at least possible to do that in a reasonable time span, which I guess is a big improvement over what it used to be. Okay, let's quickly go, and now that I only have this few devices anyway, I can unpaint them more easily. I don't want my crates layer 1 to be painted. Any chance you'd be able to help me with that? You know I suck at trigonometry, right? The whole GPS thing, all the code for that was made by Wolf, and all the math. It's all his stuff. I don't normally do trigonometry. I can try, but there's no guarantee that I'll be able to help you. You for your LCD idea as well, because no clue how those work, and I want some advanced stuff. That I can help you with, because those I really like messing around with, and I am kind of at a loss for what I want for NecOS. Not entirely sure what I want to do with it next, but we'll see. It will go somewhere. We'll just have to figure out where. The smartest person I know with YOLOL, then you haven't met a bunch of other people in the community yet, because they are much better with YOLOL than I am. I would say I'm acceptable at like compressing stuff down, making it work with YOLOL better, but I'm not that great at coming up with solutions. Then again, I can usually manage for like my own applications, but we'll see. I can definitely try helping you out though. I've been pretty stuck in this small part of the community. Honestly, a good choice. A really good choice. The overarching community, I guess. A lot of people are perfectly fine, but there have been some bad apples in it. Which, of course, I won't say names for, but there's just been a bunch of, well, mostly just trolls going on at this point, honestly. It just gets kind of boring, you know? But then there's also just a large part of the, of the larger community, I guess, that is just great, honestly. Trying to be part of the big community in games. That's completely fair. I haven't, like, this is the first game where I am, I guess, I would call myself a decent part of the community, especially, like, on Discord. I am a little bit too active, maybe. But this is the first time for me where I have a game where I have been this active. Most other games I just kind of maybe joined their Discord, but then not really cared much, you know? Starbase has just been a game that I've been a little overexcited about, and still am. I am still very excited about the game and its future, where that may not look too bright right now, but I'm sure it'll pick back up at some point when there's finally some more funds available for the guys over at Frozen Byte. But for now, I'll just enjoy the game as it is. Gruntyre, yeah, oh sorry, I read the same message again. Nice. For I am the big brain. Wonder if these are close enough to be attached. I don't think so. Nah, those aren't close enough. So this will need some cable and pipe work, which is fine. It'll be just fine. I think that means everything has a frame now. I need a sort of frame for the generator still. I'll have to figure out what I'll do for those, but should be doable-ish. And I think this should be a perfect length to use with beams. Let me check that before I make claims that I can't back up. Come on. Rotate. Well, it's sort of a perfect length. It's like, if I take a 24 and then a 36 corner, I think it'll just about work out. Yeah, see, it is a good length. But it's also barely not a good length, because it's like bad. Don't forget the heat sinks. Oh, I won't. Don't worry. No worry. I'll be fine. I was planning on adding those here in the middle. And then on the top as well. And then I can just kind of cram, I don't know, radiators somewhere. That's the thing. I don't want to have exposed radiators too much, but I might just add like gaps in here where I have a few radiators. Because I have these like these blade sections, and I could work them into this, like make this kind of go up, and then it would be sort of a hole here. It should work out. And then in here I can just have the heat sinks. It should be all fine. Let me check that quickly before I make claims. Again, I can't back up. But I think they will fit in here easily. I really won't need that many, but I'd prefer to have like 2 rows wide, I think. And that will just perfectly work. See? It's all fine. As if it was planned. It wasn't, but it looks as if it is. Which is good. I like it when things work out. See, it's just fine. Can I make this the same length as the radiator? I really don't think I'll need this many. I can check, but I don't think so. Oh, I can show you another tool, by the way, that I've been using a lot lately. I'm not sure if you know about it. Some of you definitely do, but don't know if all of you do. It's called Grebo's Little Heat Helper. And I'm not sure how well known it is within like the entire community. Let's open that up. Boom. So here we have Grebo's Little Heat Helper. Oh, it apparently has cookies now. He should give a pop-up about that, because I don't think I've seen one. So yeah, you can... I'll just remove everything so that you can see what's going on. So what we have here is like a grid, and on the bottom, is that even visible on the stream? Boom. On the bottom we have like things you can select, where I say I have fuel chamber, tier 2, and I have 4 of them in a row. And then I say, hey, I have generators tier 2. I have those stacked on there. And I currently have tier 1 enhancers, so I'll just cram those on there. And then on the left here, it tells me I have 12,000 EPS going on here. And this is the volume, and this is the mass. That's all fine. And the total heat generated. Passive heat dissipation. Heat that needs dissipating. And, oh, it no longer tells you how much you need. Oh, shit. Okay, that's annoying. Well, I guess I can add heat sinks in it, though. Where passive heat dissipation just goes up like crazy with those. It no longer tells you how many radiators you need. Oh, that's too bad. It used to tell you how many heat sinks and radiators you would need. Well, I should ask Grebo to add that back, because that was a really helpful tool. Even if, like, it wasn't always accurate, because radiators, the 2 types of, like, radiators, the bases and the extensions have different stats. But this used to be so much nicer. Now it's like still really cool, because you know how much heat you need to dissipate, but... Oh... That's too bad. I'll poke Grebo to add that back, because that was a really helpful thing to have. Anyhow, it's still a great tool. I'll throw the link in the chat. It's called dead.earth, which is probably just a domain he had laying around or whatever, but the tool is freaking awesome. Mad props to that guy for making it. That's the thing. This community has been spawning so many cool tools. It does look extremely useful. That's because it is, you know? It is extremely useful. It's a great tool. It's, as said, it could be better, I guess, now that it's not got the heat sinks and radiators listed. But even without those, it's still a super cool tool to have. If I have 30, 38-ish, 36, I'm not actually sure. Let's actually check how many I need. I have my phone calculator. Because that is, let's say it was 3,800, just to be on the safe side, divided by 750. I would need 5 heat sinks per thing. Oh yeah, you can use alloys. You can absolutely use alloys for ship design. Oh man, hiccups. They're in here. You can use them. 3.2 armor value, 3.6 armor value, 4.4, 2.2, but this one is relatively light, which is really good. 1.9. Oh, there's the super high stuff. I'm not sure if these stats are all correct, but they probably are. Then there's also like this kind of stuff, which is super heavy, but also high on armor. And Imrium is okay. Imrium is actually really good. Xalium is just shit for armor, but it's super light. There are a few things I think that are like really powerful. Yeah, Ononym is just really good, but it's also incredibly heavy. Alloys are the new thing. Yeah, alloys are new. Relatively anyway. They've been added in the latest life patch. And you craft them through... Let's see if we have those in here, actually. I don't think we do. Crafting? Oh, we do! Hey, these have been added. That's sick. Well, we have these 2 alloy furnaces. They are very similar. They're not the same. Here, they are slightly different in like color and model. The models are slightly different. One is for crafting ores in the belt, either moon belt or Eos belt. One is for crafting ores on the surface. And they both kind of work like craft benches, except they need power. So you give them power, or you just cram a fuel rod in here. They build up charges. And per charge, you can just craft like a stack of alloy. And that you just do through the normal craft menu. But you'll need to unlock it first, obviously, like everything. Like the actual alloy crafting. But meh, that's all doable. And I see they have all the attachments in here now too. That is really good to see. That means we no longer need to unlock. Well, I guess you still need to unlock these to even get the stuff behind them. But at least you can add them onto your ships now before you can unlock them. Which is cool, you know? Adding stuff from the SSC is a good thing in my eyes. It's a bit exploity, I guess, but on the other hand... it's fine. It's not like it's really bad or anything. So it should be all good. I don't think they'll ever, like, patch that out or whatever. I don't think it's worth it even. It should be all good. Hellship repair space for it. Yeah, exactly. I will need quite a few more radiators than I had hoped, though. Which I think means I'll do this, and then how big are radiators? They shouldn't be all that large. Like relative to what I have here. Where are my radiators? With the large generators in here, it's just a little too big. Like everything is a little excessive. Yeah, here, this just easily fits, you know? And this is all I would... No, I think I'll need 6 actually per side. Which makes it a little harder. Because I can't actually fit another one here. Like another row of 2. I'll have to work something out there, but that's fine. Just happy that I don't need to worry about crafting them after I spawn my ship. Exactly. That makes it a lot easier. You don't need to think about putting them on afterwards. It's all much easier now. I could just go and remove these. That would make it pretty easy to add more, you know? Or I could take some of this away, which I think would look better. Flat heatsink would look nice in this slot. Yeah. I could, for example... Like, I don't really want to have too many visible heats. Well, I just barely can't fit... Well, I sort of can. Hold up. Let me show what I could do. I'll probably end up using cubes just because they're easier, and I would have radiators above them anyway. But what I could do with a flat heatsink is... Where is it? Heatsink plate. There we go. Like, have them where... Or have a one where the cubes used to be. Why does it not snap? Why do you need to be a pain? Why do you need to be stupid? Oh man. Hate this heatsink. Heatsink bed. Hey, that is now going where I wanted it to go earlier. Why do you... No, wait, it's not. It's not. It's acting like it is, but it's a lie. You know? No, it's not too big. Because if 2 by 2 of the cubes fit, then a plate will also fit. It's just there's no good snapping points for it. I'll just cram it like there. What I could do is have it like here-ish, but then like it still wouldn't be visible because there would be radiators over it. So it wouldn't matter all that much, you know? I think I won't do it here, but I theoretically could. But I just like the cubes better because they're easier to use. And I'm going to have to fit them down here anyway. Like, would the beam one work? It would, but same issue. Like, I don't want to have it sticking out because the let me grab some hard points so I can actually put stuff where I want it. I think I'll want the radiators to go like a little bit in. Okay, that won't do what I want it to do. I'll just do them here and then like in a little. And then we'll have... Well, we'll need 3, but this will need to come forward a bit, I guess. Not exactly what I intended. Can I fit them where I want? No. That's mildly upsetting. Just mildly. Okay, you know what? Let's do it a bit differently. Let's put it here. And then down. Oh, come on. And then like that. Okay, cool. And then we take this out. And we go... Radiators? Radiator base. Because we don't need none of those freaking chunky things, you know? Or the extensions, because they're bad. They take up the same amount of space, and they're just generally meh. And we can just have this in here, which is not really sticking out all that much. And I think that would be okay. And then we can... I'll probably add like a plate or something here, like a small bit of plate, because I think that would look better. I think that would be a 12 by 96. Yeah, like that. Ooh, that's still large. Let's make that small again. And then maybe I could do some triangle plates. Not actually sure these will fit. Oh, they do fit. Nice. Like a so. You know, I could do a bit of this, maybe, here at the top. And then, of course, this would be filled in with a 72. So that would be 72 by 144, I think. This one would go here again. So I would just have a little bit like this, and I feel like that would look okay. It's not perfect. I liked it better without it, but it does work, I think, having it like this. It's not exactly terrible. And then below here, there would just be cube heat sinks like before, you know? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But these need a good place to mount to, which means I'll probably end up extending this back a bit. Just at a horrible angle, if I want to do stuff like that. Which means I may have to bring all of this forward. These are 72, so this could be replaced with a single 144 again. Anyhow, this would work, and it would all be nicely closed off again. Their fronts all look... their fronts all hooked, so it actually works. What do you mean? This? Or do you mean your... Oh, sorry, you mean your ship. Ah, crap. No, I misunderstood. Yeah, awesome. Let me know if it works. Because I'm curious if you pull that one off. I hope so. I really hope we can see that one fly around soon. I do expect it to show up in a certain guy's stream. You know that, right? Okay, these still don't play nice with paint. That's too bad. Piped it all and whatnot? Oh man, that must have been quite a bit of work, I imagine. Okay, that's those done. Then in here we'll need a bit of work still. But I guess adding heat sinks wouldn't be terribly... Well, those don't have the nice snap points that they should have. That is too bad. You're not letting him fly it. Well, yeah, we saw how that went last time. Did you change the plate color? Of these plates, you mean? These are all painted light gray. Like that is light gray paint. Normal would be this. Let's see. Another thing I realized is that I made a ship a while ago that broke the game. Welding blocks should make it work. Nice. Welding blocks are going to be so much easier for a lot of people's ships, I feel like. And just white would be nicer. No, that's the thing. White is nice, but I think it's just a little too bright. And also, gray works slightly better with like devices and stuff. A lot of people do like their white ships, but when it's like in the sun, I can't actually show it because I can't get the sun in here, but like this. I think the gray hides detail just a little less. White and black are too extreme for me. You'll probably never see me make a ship black, unless I want it to be like invisible, that like if I want to hide me just not adding detail. But yeah. Problem was it created multiple unconnected ship frames. Oh yeah, that would be fixed by the weld blocks, absolutely. Assuming they're close together anyway. Which is really cool. I think that's kind of the main purpose for them even. It is also time for me to make more tea. Because that's what my water bottle or the hot water thing does, you know. Ooh. Beebity boobity bop. Oh, I've actually got like I've bought a 3D printer quite a while ago, and I've been using it less and less, though I have used it quite a bit in the past. So I still never regretted ever getting that thing. But now there's this person that we, like me and my family, know from a good while back. And I've actually asked, like on Facebook or whatever, like, hey, does anyone I know, anyone in my friends group have a 3D printer that could do like a kind of print some stuff for me? And I'm like, well, you know, I just happen to have one. And now I may actually have, I guess you could call it a customer for the 3D printing, which is pretty cool. How many prop tanks does it have? I'll check in a second. It's not all that many. It's enough, but it's not that many. It's let's see, we have 24. 24 prop tanks, which I guess makes sense because it's a ring of 12 and there's 2 rings. So, you know, I could have just mathed that instead, but I am dumb. I don't do math. I have people to do the math for me. 24, not that many. Well, have you seen how it's pretty chunky? For some well, yeah, it's going to be more than enough, but it will also need it because it's meant to be my ship that can travel to like my far in the belt station. And by far in the belt, I don't mean going like over the belt straight out and then going to zone 5. I mean like halfway to the other side of EOS, far out. Idea is that it can be lengthened after spawning and just uses 3 parts. You remove 1 weld block, then put at the front and use blueprint protection to make the 3 parts again. Ah, I see. That is a nice trick you're using then. It sounds sort of similar to what we had going for the Zeppelin, though that didn't use like parts you print again, that used like hinges to fold out. But I guess, yeah, if you replace the parts, you can just do all the extension stuff again. That's really pretty neat. It's a creative setup. Is it meant to be like the longest ship in the game then, or is there another purpose to the being rather large aspect? Hey, does it now just... Oh, ha. It can just perfectly snap to these hard points. Nice. Let's grab some plates again, because those are always good to have. I've built, I believe, bigger ship and I have only like 8 fuel tanks. That is fair. Jormungandr. Nice. Nice. That's a good name for a long ship, I suppose. Jormungandr is like the... I'm probably butchering the pronunciation on that, by the way. Isn't that from like Norse history, the giant snake? Or like dragon snake, whatever it is exactly, but... The very big and long kind of creature. I think I recall... Ah, it is. Awesome. Haha, I recall a tiny bit of Norse mythology. I'm so proud now. This is all from playing this little bit of Valheim. That's where I got this from, obviously. Also a character in For Honor. Ah, I haven't played For Honor. What kind of game is that? Like, I've seen the name before, but I've never actually looked at what it is. The World Serpent. Yeah, gotcha. From God of War. Ah. Yeah, God of War I've not played either, but I have seen a little bit more about. I could see it being in there. Okay, now let's get this all fitting nicely. That'll be a... no, this should work fine. Hold up. Should just be a 72. Right? Yeah! There we go! There we go, yes. It's all good. Ja. Sehr schön. Fighting game, not a 2D, 3D, usually 4v4, but you can do duels. Gotcha. You're truly a sophisticated scholar, good sir. Yes. Definitely. Okay, special plates. We shall grab a few more of, well, inner, of course. Inner 96, 30 degree, shamalama bam. And another. Okay. This is great. It's all coming together exactly the way I wanted it to. That makes me really happy. Basically, samurais, Viking, and knights fights. What? Okay, that sounds really weird as like a combination. But on the other hand, I can see it being quite fun. That, yeah, that's a combination I didn't expect to hear about. But definitely sounds like a fun game to play. Ooh, so this does actually fit. I just need to get it in here, which is doable enough. Just means I need a little bit of plate. Let's grab a 12 by 48. Let's put it there. And then we take these 4. And we slam them up in there. Oh, they don't wanna. Said, slam them. What? Wait, what now? Why do you fit here, but not... Huh? Hold up. So why do they not fit there? Because these are on the same level. This is a bit curious. Starbase moment, indeed. I am tempted to turn on the object collision detection. Oh, no, wait, it's moving. Huh? No, it's not moving yet. The frick? Okay, we'll turn on the object detection. Oops, stream delay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stream delay showing up. We must banish the stream delay. Preview overlap detection, and there is the other one, highlight overlapping objects. Not actually sure if that works for... Okay, so it is it all of them colliding? Are they like colliding with the ones above? I feel like they're clipping with the ones above. Yeah. The hell? Okay, so these are super cool, these heat sinks, but their hitboxes are a mess. What if I turn them sideways? Will that work? The fudge? So let's actually grab this and this plate. So they are called cube heat sinks. I'll also, well, I guess I'll keep the overlap detection enabled, because otherwise it'll not show. So that does not work. Let's move this down a bit. Make sure this is attached where I want it to be. Like that. And we take this, we say, yo, go. That works. Are these not on the same level exactly? Huh? Nope. That just does not work. The hell? So they have something protruding out here. The heat sinks, yeah, you can pipe and cable them, and for the cube ones, like the other ones need a pipe and then cable if you want to read them out. The cube ones you can connect either like straight onto your generators, just cram them on here. You can use the pipe socket board. You can use hard points. You can use cables and pipes directly. You can use ducts. Ducts works for everyone, for every one of them, by the way. Like these surfaces, the like the dotted surfaces, they kind of look like a duct. They're ducts. But the cube ones are overpowered. You can just literally do like any means we have had in the past to connect anything. You can use for the cube ones. It's ridiculous. Should really add specific points into the new heat parts to make it clear. Where are the plugs to do it directly? Oh no, it's literally just like here. This is a cable that's now connected everywhere to this duct. Or you mean for the generator directly? Hold up, no, that's different. For the generator directly, you just slam it on like that. This is connected. This is like the single best application for them, I think, for the cube ones. Because beam ones are, yeah, beam ones are super long ducts. It's really cool, super long and thick ducts. They're pretty sick. They also, I'm not sure if they still do it, but the beam ones you could connect in a strange way, which I'm not sure was intended. It didn't look like it because the point where you could connect them. Okay, it doesn't work for cables now. No, it no longer works. Okay. There used to be a snap point for pipes in the middle here, which didn't actually, like, show up. It just kind of snapped onto there. You slap them onto gens. Can you still read them? Yes. Slapping them onto gens, I believe, when I tried, connects them in, like, every way possible, which is good. Means that that is the best application for cube ones. But yeah, the beam ones are really cool, and the plate ones just look really cool. They use that on the pincer. Let me grab that real quick. The new pincer has a plate heatsink, and it's actually decently cool looking. Pincer forklift. Here, it uses it has like a plate one on the bottom here, and this, while it's a bit unwieldy, like it's a bit big, but it doesn't look terrible. You'll still need a cable socket board or it won't produce power. Yeah, of course. That is fair. Sorry, yeah. You can't draw power from the heat sinks from a generator, but you can connect them for like all other purposes. That's a very good point, Devastator. Thank you. But also, yeah, the new pincer looks kind of cool. I think this might be a little too thick, maybe, but on the other hand, it works just fine. I would have liked this to be slightly thinner, though. And it would have been possible. I think it's really easy to make it slightly thinner, judging by what kind of setup they've got going here. So yeah, that would have been nice, but also I can see why they would do it like this. It's just easier, after all. I might make an edit of this at some point. The ratio from tier 2 gen to cube. That varies based on how you lay out your generators. Because if you have them all bunched up like I have here, which is here is not here, here is here. If you have them all like bunched up like this, they produce more heat. That is where the heat helper I posted earlier comes into play. Let me see if I can find the link still. Yeah, I can. So that's where this tool comes into play. You can kind of like just build your generator setup there, and it'll tell you how much heat it generates. Your gens are a single block of 5 wide, 2 high, and 3 long. Oh boy, that'll generate a good bit of heat. So yeah, just check there, and then every for the stats on like heat sinks and radiators, how many of each you'll need. You can find that on the wiki. Under the heat mechanics page, which is like it's decently readable nowadays, but if you happen to like kind of miss what they mean, because it is still a very confusing page to read through, feel free to let me know what you're curious about, because I think I know most of the things about heat at this point. Like many others though, like there's many other people knowing that, but hey. Thank you for reading the comments before they show up in chat. Damn, I am speed. But yeah, YouTube sometimes does that. It's a bit weird looking, but you know, it's fine by me. If I can be faster than chat, I'm doing good. Yes. Means I'm doing just fine. Let's actually make this work nicely instead of making it a pain for myself. I'll have these be slightly further back though. How do I want to do this? I think if I have them all the way at the back here. No, I'd have them too far back as well, right? Yeah, that'll have them off. So if I do this, it won't be on the plate there. How did I do that up here? Let me hide the heat sinks. Oh, obviously these are... Duh, I have hard points there, not plates. That makes everything a little bit different. That means I have to have my... Well, I have to remove these first. I have to have hard points here. Which would go... there and then forward a little bit more, I believe. We just have a little bit of this. Take that this way a little. And then we say make them... make layer 2 white, which is actually gray. Because paint is a bit weird on some parts. And then we do a little bit of this. And then boom, we have hard points. Sweet. And then we say, take this plate. Take that plate. And slam them down. Boom. Cool. That's done. Let's see. Heat that needs dissipating is the one I need for the math, right? Yes, it is. Hardpoints are fun because you can bolt them from the socket port. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. Then again, we can now make it much easier for ourselves by using... Oh, wait. I need to select the weld cube every time. Boom. We can just do this now, which is even better. 14.2k. That is not actually that terrible. See ya, Moro. Have a good day, man. See ya around. Okay, so I need a bit more plating here. A 30-degree inner, 96 centimeters. Yes, I will take this plate. Thank you very much. And then, oh, I need layer 1 for the plates. So which step do I need to use with the cubes? For the cubes, like on the wiki, you mean, or on the what's that? The from the heat helper tool. Hey, Yatumi, welcome. Let me quickly check out the wiki page on heat mechanics. I'll just open that up on stream as well then. Boom, here's the wiki page I was talking about earlier. Zoom in a bit so it's sort of readable on stream. It's a little zoomed in now, but that's fine. So we have these tabs here. Heat helper? Okay, that's like the dead.earth tool. So what we're looking at, let's open this up as well in this, oh crap, in this screen. Thank you. So in here we have heat that needs dissipating, which is how much heat your generator setup is producing more than it can dissipate itself. It dissipates a little bit of heat itself. We won't take that into account now because it just doesn't matter for what we're doing. So you have this setup, you have this number, which is super cool. It's a reasonably high number for you. Then here you have from generator unit and fuel chamber, they can only dissipate so much to a radiator directly, but they can all output 1500 heat to heat sinks. And then heat sinks can transfer 750 heat per second to radiators, where a single radiator base can dissipate 1500 heat. So you can have 2 heat sinks per radiator base, and you'll just need to make sure you have enough of like the transfer rate and the heat dissipation on radiators, basically, to dissipate all the heat. It's a bit weird, but it takes a bit of getting used to, but overall it's doable. Basically, this is just transfer rate, your throughput. If you generate more heat than you have in this number for the heat sinks will start storing heat, and they will let your generator overheat at some point. If you have enough of this number, then you'll need to have enough of this number, the heat dissipation on your radiators, or on the cooling racks, if you're that kind of guy, to dissipate that heat. Otherwise, your radiators will build up heat. And if you have enough of this and enough of this, You're all good, no worries, everything's fine. Cool. And this also adds to your dissipation, but that is meh, don't worry about it. Just add like your transfer rate. Make sure this is just high enough. Basically, if you have a little bit of overhead, that's good. If you have a little bit of like too little, it's usually good, but it's a bit tricky. You won't be able to run your generators at 100% forever, which I tend to like building my ships for, to be able to at least do that. So 12 cubes then. For let's see, for 14,000, that could be just about right. 40.2k. Let me actually math that because I am sucky at math. 12,000 divided by 750. 16 cubes. Sorry, 14.2k. No, more even. 14.2 thousand divided by 750. Not... I'm stupid. 14,200 divided by 750 is... Oh. No. Not 16. 19. If it's 14.2 thousand heat, that's almost 20, yeah. Yeah, you should probably have like 20 heatsink cubes, and you should be fine. But that is also why I need this many, because my setup is... It's not that bunched together, but it's just quite large. And it's going to be tier 2. So yeah, it'll generate a good bit of heat. Let's take 20 for symmetry. Exactly. That would be my way of thinking as well. Symmetry, good. But yeah, this is fine. Now, the beauty of this setup is that these... Well, let me disable machinery. These hardpoints should, in theory, automatically be connected to the heat sinks. Because I believe their ducts overlap. So that is fantastic. And out here we'll add the same setup we have up top. With this being different from what it used to be, this being different, and this being different. And these, obviously. I think. It should... No, wait, the front thing wasn't different. I messed up. So this can go poof again. It should be... Nope. Nope, it didn't fit. It does fit. Place down 24. Oh. Ooh, apologies. 24 is quite enough. Yeah, that should be just fine. These are 48 centimeters. Why do I have like 48s and 96s? These are weird numbers I got going. Not a big fan of that. I'll have to do some rework on which kind of lengths of plating I have where. Because this is just stupid at this point. What I have is ridiculous. Boy, I need to fix my shit. Because these numbers are dumb. Yeah, okay, I'll need to go over that at some point and just fix it all up. Because what I have right now is just a royal mess. But that's fine. We will fix it, but not right now. Yeah, tea is really nice. Tea is really, really good. Okay, now that is the heat situation mostly covered, I think. Is this enough radiators? I have 6 per side, and I have 12 heat sinks per side. So yes, that is enough. And that should be enough heat sinks and everything for this whole setup. Right? I don't think I need 24, do I? Maybe I do. Let me actually check. I have... How much was it? Like 3,400... Say 3,800 divided by 50. Not times 750. What the frick? Divided by 750. Was wondering why the number was so large. I should need 5 per block, and I have 4 blocks, so I should need 20. Which I have more than enough, because I have 24. I did the same thing you did, Graph. Now let's swap out these for tier 2 variants. I'll keep the last ones in place for now, so I can more easily add stuff, you know? Machinery. Power. I need fuel chambers tier 2. Okay, let's turn snapping off for a second, so we can orient what we're doing. Aha, the nice red parts. Oh, I should turn off this overlap detection again, because it makes your game lag like crazy. Spaceship designer placement. Cool. And then I can remove this bunch and change it up to B tier 2 as well. Awesome. My cubes get rid of 1k heat on their own. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you have 20 of them, that would be 1k heat. Which is pretty neat that they do that. But it's not super significant, I suppose. But yeah, it definitely adds up over time. Like, the numbers get quite large. For both heat generated as well as heat removed. Also, stuff like this, like generator units, now show how much heat they generate, how much electricity they generate, which is really cool. How much heat they have stored, how much heat they can store. It's really, really good stuff. It's enough. Nice. Awesome. The good kind of messages to see. Let's see, I'll have copied and then, oh no, swapped like this. And plopped in there. Alright. Looking good. Take these out. And do the same trick with the gen units. Now this will be doing the same kind of looping. And then we'll add some more here. Alright. That's 2 blocks down, and then 2 more to go. Let's turn on the lock for only machinery. It makes it a little... Well, I wanted to go over here so I could select them all at once, with like box select, but it turned out that didn't work for what I actually wanted to do. So, it was a bit of a waste of time. But that's fine. I got all the time in the world, right? Cool. It's looking good. And then we take all of this. And the ones in the back. And we copy them over again. And supposedly that shouldn't be giving me too much trouble. They should snap onto those enhancers. Awesome. Okay, that is the generator block mostly set up. Might need a few more LCDs than I thought to get all the types of information. This is why I'm making my operating system thing for them. This is quite neatly fit in here, by the way. But yeah, so I can have like... I have only 3 screens on this ship. I'll show you. See, I have only 3 screens, but the idea is that I can swap them to display like certain types of information. So I could have like GPS stats and everything around that on one, and then have like fuel info, time till empty, all that kind of stuff on the other. And then, I don't know, a bunch of warnings, maybe like a header compass kind of thing on the third. I'm trying, like, Munch had this idea, and Munch has this idea for what he wants for kind of his waypoint display, I guess. I have a similar idea. Though mine I know how to make. I'm not super certain I understand what his idea is. Thinking of having dedicated panels so I can justify having a big ass command bridge. Oh, that is a very valid thing to do. See, I just want to make a system that I can plop on any ship and just have like any amount of displays and it will work. But having just a giant command bridge is a great idea and I can only get behind that. Let's make these yellow for now so they're slightly more visible. They're still... Glass is like barely visible in the SSC, but if you make it yellow, for example, it's slightly more visible, which is good. If you make it black, it's completely invisible. Well, almost. It's not completely invisible, but it's really close to being exactly that. Do enhancers actually work? If I remove them from my ship in universe and pick them up, after about 5 seconds they disappear from both inventory and station. Oh, yeah, that's been a bug lately where I haven't actually messed around with that. They do work, like on your ship. But I've heard more people have that issue. I'm not sure if... Like, are those newly crafted or newly bought ones, or are they from before the heat update? Because I'm not sure if before heat update ones got updated to be the new ones. But I have heard more people have issues. So if it's an issue with newer ones, then yeah, it's definitely something you should throw an F1 report for. Because it's quite annoying to have them be basically consumables. And Graph, yeah, I can only completely agree with the fact that large-ass bridges are cool. Like, really cool. I wish I could build them properly. Like, the best I can do for a large-ish bridge, it's not even a bridge, it's more just a cockpit, is this. This is already really large for what I normally build. I've tried with both new and preheat, and both seem to do it. Ah, okay, that is really annoying. Please do throw an F1 report towards Frozenbite for this. Because, yeah, I've seen the bug, like, I've heard people about the bug before. I haven't encountered it myself because I haven't used enhancers yet. They do work differently than before, though. So they do go on the actual generator units now, but I assume you knew this. Like, the heat mechanics have been pushed in our face a bit. But I do think it's a better system for them, because they make more sense where they are now, I think. Because having them magically generate more fuel is a bit... it's a bit weird. And having them make the generator run hotter to then, I guess, be more efficient makes a little more sense, I guess. Not that much still, but it's a little more sensible, I would say. At the moment, your idea for your bridge is having a really big pilot setup with a bunch of controls and such, and then having 2 seats further behind to the side, which would control the aiming turret for the lasers. Ah! That is cool. Oh, what you could do, if you wanted to be really excessive, you could have it like use rangefinders to detect where the asteroid is, and then use like a laser designator and pointer kind of setup to aim your turret at the asteroid, and you would like see that visually on a display. That would be so cool to have. Like you could see where you're aiming relative to where the asteroid is. That'd be dope. But for that, well, it would take a good bit of time developing that in YOLOL, I think. But it would be super sick. So I'm totally down to try and work on that at some point, if you want to do it. So hit me up if you have plans like that. Because I am a big fan of making these displays do whatever the hell I want them to do. Because they are incredibly powerful, but you really need to put in a bunch of effort for to get out their full potential. If you can pull it off. Well, I wouldn't necessarily guarantee that I can pull it off. It is challenging at best. It's going to be really hard. Like, I don't have the YOLO knowledge to do this, but I can try and I'll just keep, like, fiddling with it till it works. That's usually my way of doing YOLO. Now, I would like to have a few of these basically here. They're not really in that spot, but it's close enough to where they should be anyway. I can show them where I'd put them. I see. Rangefinders. Oh yeah, that is fair. The rangefinders would be hard to put in the right spot. I'm trying to think if there's like a better way to do that, but I wouldn't know anything off the top of my head. So yeah, I don't really have any concrete ideas of how you would take on a task like this. So we'll have to do a little bit of development there if you really do want to take this on. But I would be down for it. Now this is where things got a little tricky. I would like to have something covering these thrusters because I'm going to have like my collectors mounted on them, at least on some of them. But these plates are kind of in the way. And otherwise these are going to look weird. So I need to have these here. As long as I have voxels, I'll add shit to it. I still need an idea for the bridge. Oh, do keep in mind this would... You would need a decent bit of like YOLO rack space for this. I feel like I haven't yet thought, but like just keep that in mind. Like with the amount of displays I plan to have for Nekoas, I most likely will have to add another ring in here with just YOLO. You're planning to add a lot of YOLO. Good. YOLO good. It's the best language. It's also the best way to make your ships feel more like user-friendly ships. Which, that is something that I like personally from like my kind of... I study design, right? So I am within design mostly interested in either just getting shit to work, making like products do what they need to do and do it in a user-friendly way, or just pure user experience. So doing the whole YOLOL stuff for a ship is something I really enjoy doing. Like on the I can show that as well. On the Peregrine, for the ones that haven't seen that. A lot of people here probably have seen it. But for those that haven't seen it on this ship, the small speeder, I have this setup where like... Ooh, that looked a bit funky. The display, instead of just like displaying your information... Ooh, it's... The frame rate's been a bit weird, I think. Instead of just displaying information, you turn it on, and it does like the little boot up animation and stuff. It's useless stuff, but it makes it feel more like, you know, a nice ship to me. And then it just displays your information, and you can change these colors and everything. So yeah, the initial goal I had for NecOS was to be able to change like subscreens here. Man, this freaking jumpiness of the cursor is really annoying. So you would be able to say like, hey, I want transponder settings to now move or to now swap with like your warnings. That is probably not going to end up happening, but I will be able to switch between screens and like have buttons for the screens. It would be, if it all ends up being what I want it to be, it'll be really cool. Also, I noticed I didn't update one of my scripts yet, which I'll do right now because I know what to change and where to change it. I think that is in here. Let me check actually. Levels, GPS, no, it's one of these then. Logo gen, it's this one. Where this line, which is a really long line, so it'll be a pain to find out where it is exactly. It generates that middle line, but I want a plus in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. This should be a plus. I'm pretty sure anyway. Okay, so we save that. And then we... This one saves a lot quicker than the large one. Then we go back into the test flight. Yeah, the cursor is a bit jumpy. It's better now than it was before, though. Doesn't have the fancy decoration either, as some my head. Hey. Look, now we have a plus in the middle. It's not that big of a difference. I'm not actually sure if I like it better yet, because it's sort of offset towards the top, but I think I do. Makes it feel more like it actually is crossing there. I'm not actually sure. But it looks a bit like a computer. That's where I will change this on like the actual NecOS. It also has a goodbye message, which is also one of those very small things, you know. It just adds to it, in my opinion anyway. But here, like when it boots up, this I will keep slow, like in lines. This now goes in like small sections and then does a bunch of text and everything. I will change this to be, like specifically, oh sorry, this will be all at once. The text, like the information won't be, that is different chips and like different things handling that. But this, like the titles and the background effectively, will all be instantaneous. Just because otherwise, like I've had a bunch of people complain that it felt too slow. So I'll just make it instant, and I'll probably like have the option to have it to be slower because I do like it myself. I'll keep the old chip around, but I won't use it on the main sales version of NecOS. Because well, it's all about user friendliness, and if users don't like it, I will have to change it. Apart from the logo, I'm not removing the logo animation. Let's see. That's why you want. Oh yeah. That's why you want to make yours overly complicated with like 4 buttons just to get started. Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. You could also give it like a keypad lock or whatever if you want to be overcomplicating things. So at the moment, for just the pilot seat, I'm thinking about 5 LCDs. Nice. That is quite excessive. See, I would do a similar thing, but... Well, I guess I could have 3 in the middle, but I would do a similar thing, but I really want to have my levers be accessible. I'm not sure you probably have that as well, given your old ship. Like the size of your cockpit back there. I would assume you also still have your levers. But yeah, having multiple screens is just so good. These screens are possibly one of the best things they added to the game, in my opinion, over the last like year. Apart from like station lamps, obviously. But these are so good. They just make... Like, they make making cockpits just so much more fun, in my opinion. 2 plasma, a generator, a propellant with liquid still in, and a time and miscellaneous like GPS transponder and such. Gotcha. Yeah, if you need help setting those up, do let me know. Do you, by any chance, use Photoshop? The old cookbook was made by Mayori, not by you. That is fair. Here, let me quickly show you something. I would assume most people around my age won't use Photoshop, but like, what I do normally is, let me see if I can open that real quick. I'm gonna show you my workflow for working with displays, which is a very cursed and horrible workflow. No, that's my thumbnail. That's not. I accidentally opened up a thumbnail instead of opening the right thing. Feels bad. And it's Photoshop, so it takes forever to load. Open recent screens. Screens up PSD. This can be closed. Cool. So display capture. This is what I use for like my my layouts, and I have like this kind of stuff set up. I have a bunch of grids, and these are all just text boxes that snap to these grids. So I can very easily like position things and then type in whatever I want to, and I can make it look the way I want. So if I want to change the color, I can be like, yo, this is now orange, you know? Stuff like that, I can do that. And also I have like multiple setups. This is kind of the target thing I had in mind, where this would be straightforward. The cross in the middle would be your forward direction, and then you could like select a waypoint, which you would see in kind of angles to vertical and horizontal axes, which I think would be really sick to have, but that is still a project that's work in progress very much, so no big spoilies. Also had the goodbye thing there. So yeah, this is like the display I had on the current ship, so that is kind of how I measured that all out, that it would fit. But hey, it is good enough. It works. It sounds hard. The target thing. It is absolutely not easy, but it's also not that hard. Turn off the display capture again and use just game capture. It's better. Might or might not hate what I have or what you want on the plasma LCDs. Let me know. I'm curious now. But yeah, Jurska, the target thing it's a challenge to set up, but now that we have the professional chips, we can use like trigonometry and stuff, so it should be a lot easier to do. Because finding... Is there call sign things? Yeah, there is now. So that makes it a ton easier to do. Like, it'll still be a challenge to like realize what exactly needs to go where on the display, but it's much easier than it used to be. And also, like, making sure the selection stuff works well is a bit of a challenge. But overall, it's fine. It should be doable. I think with the knowledge I've built up in math over the last like bit of doing YOLOL, it should be fine. Yeah, exactly. It's at least doable. That's a good start, right? If it's possible, it means we should be able to pull it off at some point. And you know, even if I can't pull it off by myself, I know people that will understand what kind of stuff I need to do to make it work. So that would make it a lot easier to make it all happen. Set this to a slightly larger radius so that I can paint these. It just barely doesn't catch the back side. How about now? Does it now catch the back? Yeah, it does. Sweet. Now I can just paint them from the front. Makes it a lot easier to do. And yes, I'm making them white. It's slightly the wrong color compared to the plates, but it's much better than making them gray, because gray is way too dark. Technically possible TM. Exactly, Timmy. So you want general stats, a status line, which is either off, charging, idle, or firing. Okay, that should be doable enough. Like either next or under the side thruster. I like to have a little drawing of the back with an in. The actual thrust. Oh, like with the actual thruster to show which thruster it is. So like current thrust heat and whatnot. Yeah. I thought you were going for like an animation of the thrust flowing out, which should also be doable. A lot harder, but doable. So I was scared, and now I'm just kind of excited to get to work, you know? Ran out of character space. Yeah, gotcha. Makes sense. How long can you type? Oh, 200 characters. Hey, if you want to make animations, hit me up, but I'm not good at them, but I like working on them. Like, I'm not good at ASCII stuff, but, you know, it'd be sick to do. I do want to have, at some point, I want to build like a ship that is just like a luxury ship or a combat ship or whatever that just displays the entire ship rendered out in ASCII art and like shows where you've been hit, for example. Like it would have detection for hits all over the place. Deco, I usually really only add people in Discord that I either know IRL or that I've been, had contact with online for like an extended period of time. Like people that I've messed around with quite a bit. So it's not a thing where I say no because I think you're not a chill person, but more a no because I usually only add mostly IRL friends. So sorry, my dude. No, it's not meant to be like a rejection thing. It's just kind of how I live my life, you know? But I know it's like, kind of strange. Boot up animation wouldn't hurt, so you could have, so you have to flip a main switch. First, it would activate the ship and have the animation display on all LCDs. That's what I'm going for with my system, for sure. It's not a rejection, it's an... Oi. You make a fair point. Do these paint nicely? Oh! Oh, they do! I get way too excited, about parts that paint like they should. Oh no, wait, that's still not layer 2. Come on, Sank. Oh, very nice. We have more parts that paint the way they should. Nice. Do these paint nicely? No. Of course not. Why would generators, after all these years, paint nicely, right? Man. Ashdu, howd. Yes. I probably mispronounced whatever that was, but it definitely seems fun. Making me all excited for the ship. Hey. It's... Oh, no. The old, like, hit detection and stuff isn't going to be on this ship. Or do you mean for yours? Oh, we could do that on yours. Yours is large enough to have that work. Oh! Hey, Graf, do you have, like, space for... I don't know, how long... ship's quite long, so like a 4x2 display setup? And you're gonna need, like a bunch of cables overhead, like cable budget overhead. So if you can pull that off, we might be able to do this in your ship. Easily. Oh, let's go. You're getting me excited for something I know I shouldn't be doing. This isn't good. Well, I guess I'm getting myself excited at this point. But yeah, I do want to make this. Cables I can't promise. Ooh, shit. There's other ways to do it, I think. Maybe not. Like, there is probably other ways to do it. So, Itumi, how I would detect damage, which is, like, this is a kind of a crude way to do it, is you just have, like, cables all over the place. That's a pipe. But normally you would use cables and not pipes. So I just do, like, I don't know, for example, this. Which is, this is a bit excessive, but if you take it a little less, you can still usually mostly detect cables. Or detect damage. And then in the middle here, like this, you make sure that only the end of this, only the start is connected. And then in the middle you add like a device, like a display or whatever. So you wouldn't do it this dense, but you add like a display. And you have a chip that just keeps writing information to that display. And when any part of this cable gets hit and thus destroyed, that display becomes disconnected, and the YOLOL chip will stop being able to write, or stop being able to see that display. So it would error onto the next line, and then you could just say, hey, now it detects damage, and it just says, yo, here on the display, because this is the chip for this panel, boom, there's damage now. It's way too excessive to do on any, like, reasonable sort of ship, but it's also really cool to have. Imagine having, like, a freaking display of your ship inside the ship. Sort of like a hologram, but not really. You wouldn't need many cables for that. Why is that? Now I'm curious what kind of thing you have in mind. But yeah, it's an interesting setup. I think there's better ways to do it, but I don't know them. You could also coat your ship in displays. Use that. The bow has a lot of cables already, and the front middle section is just containers. But you see, even though it's just containers, we do need to have damage detection there. Or I guess it would be bow and not bow when we're talking about ships, but still. Like, you would want it to be everywhere, obviously. It would look cooler. You know, if just some fighter comes in, just does brrrt, and you see on these displays just the damage indicators rack up. It'd be nice to have a constant output thing. Yeah, that's true. Have some empty space in the framework. You use containers to connect it. Oh, yeah, but like, you do still need the cables to detect the actual hit. Unless there is a better way to do this, which there definitely is. I just don't know the better way. So, yeah, if you figure out like a device that can detect it better than cables without like being as bad on the budget, maybe like if it gets hit, it just shuts off, but it's still large and flat. That'd be great. Like if a plate would have a device field which would just disappear the moment the plate gets destroyed, like takes the tiniest bit of damage. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we don't have plates like that. Plates are kind of meh. They're boring. So you need to squeeze in my 40 fuel rod racks still. Oh boy. I don't even have fuel rod racks on this. I guess I should probably have fuel rod racks, but like don't really have a good spot for them because they would have to go here, but there isn't any space before the tanks. I guess I could have them here maybe. Like in this area. See if that would work. Well, it wouldn't work there for sure. Let's hide plates for a bit. It wouldn't work there either. But there it could fit. I could fit like 2 or 3. I couldn't fit enough for all of them, but I could fit enough to fly back on. Would be cool to have a hologram like in Subnautica and Cyclops. I don't know what that one looks like. Let me look that up real quick. Do I still have a good Opera tab open? I do. Let's see. Subnautica. What's that called? The Cyclops. Hologram. Maybe I can find it like that. Is it on the wiki by any chance? Doesn't look like there's many pictures on the wiki. Let's go into images. Let's do a little display capture again. Oh, is it like this? Because that would be sweet. It's possible and quite easy in Space Engineer, but I don't know how transferable that is. Yeah, I don't know how transferable stuff from Spengies would be to Starbase. So we can try, but like, I usually just work from scratch in YOLOL. Yeah, this would be sick. I'm not sure how you would program this. We would... Oh, but what could work in Starbase is like sort of a device where you have a projection of, I don't know, say 25 by 25, for example, cubes, like voxels, instead of the display we have right now, where you could just set all of those to be either 1 or 0, and they would be on or off, and then you can change the color. If we had that with like the layers of the display we have right now and the scaling, it'd be so cool. That'd be really cool, I think. Yeah, it's 3D. That makes it so much cooler even. Now I'm curious how you could pull off a 3D kind of display in Starbase. Like just straight up this, I don't think would work all that well, because it's just really hard to do with all the complex ships, but having some form of like voxel display might actually work. You wonder. What do you wonder, Graph? It won't fit before this, or in front of this beam, will it? I assume not. There still. No, it won't fit in front of the beam, but I might be able to squeeze in 3. I think I'll just go for 2 though. Yeah, 2 would fit better. Let's see, where are my racks? There. Oh, come on. Good. Like that, and then I will move this over a little. Is this going to attach to there? I think it might. Yeah, looks like it does. That's good. Can I fit 3? No, I can't fit 3. That's going to be a pain then. See, I would want to fit a third to make these 2 panels just kind of my fuel storage panels, but that won't work. ASCII 3D looks cool. That would be hard. And hello back to Russia then. Welcome. How are you? You have trigonometry, so just draw 3D objects on screen. Yeah, but how? Like you could do what do you call that? Like vertex based kind of 3D drawing, but then you would have to decide which vertices connect together. But if you use just a grid-based system, it might be much easier. Hologram grid would be easy to implement, but very difficult to players. Would be versatile. Yeah, the main issue I could see with it would be that it could be relatively laggy if it were to be transparent, which would be obviously the best option. Oh. But it would be super cool if it wouldn't be too laggy. You like fancy entrances? Hell yeah, I do. Duh. Then again, I like fancy entrances, but on this, like at the same time, I have literally a gap in the wall as my entrance here, which isn't going to change. This is going to stay being a gap in the wall forever. Because what I'll do to make it a little bit fancier, it's not going to be much. Like, don't expect anything here. So I'll add this to paint that gray as well. And I'll add 2 little triangle plates. Boom. And boom. And now we have an entrance. Hell yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's as far as I'll go for this ship. It's going to be kind of a half super industrial and half more fancy plated. Like the outside's going to be pretty fancily plated, but then the inside is just going to be mostly relatively exposed stuff. Like these thrusters will have some plates covering them, but stuff like these beams and everything will be exposed still. Some ideas, since I have some empty space in between the plasma thrusters and I'm planning to put my bridge somewhere above it, I was thinking of having a ramp that lowers for you to get up in the bridge. Let's go. I'm in. Yeah, I'm a fan of that idea. I also like stairwells though. Just having like that makes a ship automatically large if you have stairs in it. You know? But then a ramp is also pretty cool. How does printing on the screen work? Somewhat like print character XY, or do you need to print the whole text? No, yeah, you can do either. So you have let me grab the other display though. That's has less useless device fields. That's advanced, basic. So what you do, I can't actually show it on the display because they only work when powered inside the actual world. You can set the XY cursor position to a value like between 1 and 25. And then you just say input. So you can say, hey, input a character here. Or you can input a string at that location. And if you input a string, say like in the middle, it will just continue on to the side and it'll wrap around and it'll go to the next line. And I'll go to the next line. So you can write the entire display at once. You can also write a character at a position, or you can write a string at a position. All the good stuff like that. It's really cool. And if you want to clear it, you just set clear grid to 1 and it, boom, it's empty. It's sick. It's good stuff. The display is really good stuff. And then with the advanced one, you have like 3 layers that you can write to. So you can have different scaling on, like you can have different widths in character count per layer, which is pretty sick, and they can all have different colors, and it's pretty neat. Might be able to do a scuffed stair. Make a folding stairwell. Yeah, indeed, they are sick. The displays are my favorite new feature for at least quite a while. Now this is sort of a pain, but I guess it's less of a pain if I just have them on the bottom. Should I just have... Wait, that would actually be enough. If I had 4 only, it might actually just work. So if I do it like this, and then I would add... Well, I guess I could have this for a while just as a kind of measuring device so that everything lines up still. See, I need the 30 degree. Are these outer? Yeah. 30 degree outer 48. Like that. And then I need a 96. Like that. And that should just perfectly line up. Which means I can totally do what I wanted to do initially. And have this kind of setup. With only 2 worlds instead of 4. At least 250. A range of ASCII cards. I do not actually know what range it supports. It's like a super weird character set it has. Van Dadler on Discord did some testing with that. It's got like some sort of super weird Unicode support, but then also it's lacking a lot of things you would expect to be in there. So it's kind of overall just strange. I wouldn't actually dare say if there's any logic to it, or if it's just, haha, character go brr. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the latter. To link multiple displays to create a big one. It's not possible to like automatically link them, but you can totally make it work through code. It takes a bit of work, but it absolutely is possible to have multiple like look like they're linked. But it is definitely not easy. Bruh. Yes, indeed. That is a bruh moment. Thinking if I can make this maybe less ugly. Which, you know, I'm not all that good at making things less ugly, but I can try. Maybe if I add like a bit of plate in here. Let me check if that would do. Maybe 48. No, that would be too large. What I wanted to do was have it like this, and then... Well, that didn't end up working the way I wanted it to. Oh, it does fit. That's actually almost exactly what I wanted it to do. Oh, maybe it does work with a 48 then. Let me try that again. Ooh, that does work. That is... Wait. Oh, obviously that lines up to that bottom. Yeah. Math. As said, I don't do math. But that is good. That's just about what I wanted. And then I can do the same thing here. Just take the middle thing because that's easier to connect. Okay, for some reason it doesn't work on this side. Don't you love it when Starbase... Starbase. Oh, this is connected to the top, not the bottom. Duh. Sometimes the math is a little hard. Now it should work. Oh. Okay, and there we go. We have more panels added. It'd be cool. Can't even imagine what will be possible with that size. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking for like the ship information display or the ship damage display. It would just have like 8 of them kind of next to each other, and you would have code set up in such a way that that would look like they are one big display. Because that would look amazing, I feel like. Okay, this works. Like, it's not much, but at least I have like some backup rods that I can just cram in here. You know? I can get enough power up at least to get the thrusters running, so I can get a limp back home, you know? If I happen to run out of power completely. Which I should of course make sure I don't, but it can happen, and if it happens I would like to have some backup. Can I fit batteries in here? That'd be seriously perfect if I could. I think it'll be too small. Nope, they totally fit. Okay, well, this is just about the best coincidence I've had on this ship so far. Let's move that all the way back in here. See how many I can fit. I should just disable the plates again. That would make life so much easier. Okay, here we go. Cramming in some more batteries. Oh, that's just not gonna end up all that nice, but this is fine. Like, that is going to be 10 batteries in total. Is that gonna be enough? Probably not. This most likely won't be enough batteries. I'll just add, like, some more or whatever. I don't know. Let's do a little bit more of this, and then we do a little bit more of everything, really. Could also add them like that. These would need to be manually connected still, but this is a decent way to add more batteries. And with this many, I would definitely have enough to cover, like, warm-up power of the gens and whatever. Or the lasers. Like, not fully, but I can also just ramp up doing one laser at a time. Because that is a good way to do things. Oh, is there... Oh, these are higher up. Why, I see. So I can do this here. Don't see why I shouldn't. More battery power is more better. Well, I guess it will make the ship slightly more asymmetrical. But that's fine. That's okay. So yeah, overall this just adds a ton of batteries. That should be... I think that should be enough for everything I need. Did I by any chance get any messages from people? Not the people I was expecting messages from. That is too bad. Oh well. I've been working on my car a bit lately, and it's finally in a state where it should run again, but now it appears that the battery is kind of dead, and I don't have a charger for it at home. We do have other cars, but like the connections are kind of jank, and the starter cables I have are kind of jank as well. So trying with starter cables didn't work all that well, sadly. So now we're trying to figure out how to get it started, and I think I have found a person that has a charger. But I'm expecting either a message or a call from them at some point, and otherwise I'll call them tomorrow. Because I'll need to get that charger here first and then put my battery on it for a while. Try to print. Try to print. Is that a... Oh no, the cube things, they don't work. Sadly, those specific characters, like the entire set, doesn't work. And it's a pain. We've asked, like kind of half-asked to, or the developers to add those. Because that would be, having those on these displays would be super good. That's like, they would have to be a custom font where they're actually square and not rectangular. Having those in the entire like set of those would be so good. That would make for some mad art. That would basically quadruple the resolution and allow you to use why is speaking so hard sometimes? It would allow you to use them as actual like pixel screens. That would be super cool. But yeah, none of that right now. Maybe soonish, hopefully. I'm trying to think if I want this to be like sticking out, like I have it now, or if I want it to be further down, but then move the entire thing up. Oh, I guess putting it in the middle won't like going there. Well, that's easy enough to fix. But then I would like move this entire thing up to there. Probably a little lower, like here-ish. I'll keep it like this for now, though. You can also, it's a bit cheesy and it's not really all that useful, but you can cut off like a part of the display using a laser cutter. And it'll still work, but it's only a relatively small section that you can cut off. So you can't like make a fully hologram display. Like it'll display the characters in midair. It's pretty neat. But it's too limited to make it really all that useful. Okay. Hey, we got a bit of sunlight. Isn't that nice? Hey, so far though, ship's looking good. We haven't really done much YOLO yet. Not actually sure. Do I have VS Code open here? Let's see if I have anything I can work on for YOLO. So I'm biting my tongue. I'm actually biting my tongue while speaking now. This feels bad. So what I have right now is like this kind of weird setup where I have like the preload thing, which is that display with the like the background for the information. I have the logo display. I have a master chip that kind of decides what is allowed to display and when. And then I have a bunch of variables that I'm just keeping track of, like, hey, which is what, and what does it do, and what's it used for. And then I have like an edited version for the GPS Wolf and I built. Like Wolf built most of this code, and I just butchered it now, and it's probably wrong still here. This might actually be an exact copy, but like I'm just trying to figure out how I want things to work, and it's At the same, like it's simultaneously being kind of a pain, but also being a lot of fun to do. Because I'm just messing around with YOLOL. But yeah, this is kind of the sort of stuff I'm working in mostly right now. But this kind of code, come on, that's vomiting characters all over your screen. But it's a pain to use, but I think it's a good, like the right level of pain. Because you shouldn't, like most people don't need to work with like making GPS in YOLOL. What YOLOL is meant to be is more for like, oh, I'm flying away and all my doors are still open. Let's automatically close all these doors. You know, that kind of level of automation is what YOLOL is meant for. And then we as players decided, you know, but we can also make it do this and this and that. And then we had GPS, and then we had autonav, and then we had all sorts of cool shit. Automatic mining ships. And now people are like, yes, but this stuff is too hard in YOLOL. And then I'm just sitting there like, yes, but it's not even close to what the language is meant to do. We're pushing it well beyond its bounds. So yeah, it'll be hard to make that kind of stuff, you know? Because that's the whole point of it. But yeah. And again, the automatic mining ships are pretty neat. And yeah, I want to make that kind of targeting display that I had on screen earlier. I think that'll be really cool. It'll also be really hard, but also be really, really cool. I do want to add some plates in here. Not yet sure how exactly I want those to look. I think I may actually keep the thrusters themselves mostly exposed, where I would just do 48 by, I think 48 here. Yeah, something like, I guess this, and then, well, this could just be a 144 by 48. Something like that, you know, just covering the main thruster. And of course that would be painted gray as well. Or like the hard points. And then the rest would just be still exposed. Just because I kind of like that still having like some beams visible and stuff in the thrusters themselves. I kind of like that idea. This would have some plates as well, obviously. In the future, we'll be making tools in YOLOL. Yeah. So you said I needed a laser designator as well for your firing lasers, right? That would be the easiest. Or your lining lasers, sorry. The mining lasers. Yeah, that would be the easiest. But it's not necessary. It is by far the simplest solution. A laser designator and then a detector per turret. But that is only if you have the space. If not, then you'll have to do some trigonometry. But yeah, we'll be making a bunch of cool shit in YOLOL. Absolutely. I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what's possible. Like the first big step in YOLOL stuff was the GPS systems, the various ones that have appeared over the years. With of course ISAN being the most well-known one, but Duke has made like I think the first actual functional GPS. And then Wolf and I was like, yo Wolf, I want to make a GPS. And he was like, well, yeah, sure, you know, why not? And I was like, yeah, but in YOLOL. And he was like, wait, what the fuck is YOLOL? He didn't know the game at the time, I believe. At least not much. And then I showed him what YOLOL was. And I was just like, the fuck? But we had at least I had a lot of fun in trying to help him make that. And I hope he had a lot of fun doing that as well. But it was definitely good times working on that. We did the original YSPOS back in closed alpha. So like YSPOS is our GPS. I just bullied him about it for like a day or kind of bugged him about it. Like, yo dude, I want to do this. And then I just gathered some information on where the receivers were, like positions. I scanned those. And just told him, yo, here's numbers. And then we just sat down for a night. I think the guy had way too much coffee that night too. And we just sat down and in one night we built a GPS. And that was freaking amazing. Just the whole idea of taking something that is in YOLOL relatively complex and just sitting down for a straight, I think, 12-hour coding session and just making it work. That was awesome. How many would I need for the main turret? 1 or 2? What do you mean? Like the one you actually control? Or like what my idea would be, Graph, is to have a single turret that is just a laser designator. You could have a mining laser on there as well, of course, but you would have like a turret that has a laser designator and the rest of them would only have mining lasers. Or sorry, would have mining lasers and the receivers. So let's actually see if I can make one that looks a bit more decent. Because you would preferably use the normal cradles, right? So let's take a utility tool body. Take a mining laser. A laser tracker and a laser designator. Oh. And then we take some utility tool bodies too. Oh yeah, wait, these only work in one orientation, which is kind of dumb. But it's fine by me. Oh. Don't use them much anyway, but... Like, what the easiest would be with this kind of turret, you would have to do some very weird, like, cable or duct clipping. And to make a 3D rendering engine in YOLOL, or... Because if you do, hit me up with, like, any results you get. Because that would be sick. Is this the right orientation? I think it might be. Yeah, I think it is. Because this doesn't matter for the utility bodies, but it does for the weapons. But then you would just, like, kind of cram this on here, you know? And this would be, like, for the guided turrets, and the other ones would have... Or sorry, one would have a laser designator, then. But then this also becomes kind of bulky, you know? But that's just a choice you can kind of make, I guess. If you're okay with this being bulky. It would also still need a hardpoint, so it would get even bulkier. But yeah, I wish we had, like, this device with a cable connection on the back, you know? Just cram a cable on. And then have this thing, like, literally sitting on the side here. How sick would that be? That'd be so much cooler. You know, this just looks much more interesting to me than having it on the top with a big setup to carry it. Imagine just having this instead. How nice would that be? Having 4 mining layers and a 5th turret that's just for laser designators that you control with, which is a turret slave to. I see. Yeah, the easiest setup would definitely be to use these kind of things. Otherwise, you could have a single turret that has a designator and a laser tracker. And then basically you would use the orientation of the turret and then a bunch of trigonometry based on where your other turrets are. And then the laser tracker just for distance. I don't think the designator has a distance to hit, right? Yeah, it doesn't have a distance to hit. It just has a target found. So you would use this to find your target distance. Which is kind of a weird thing to do, but it would also just work. What black ball thing does? This is a laser tracker. It can see the like the ray from the laser designator. So you can use it to aim ship things towards the point you point at with this. It's basically an easy way to make your ship into a space cat. Because it can follow laser pointers. Which is pretty neat, you know? It's good to have space cats. I'm trying to think what I can do next on this ship. I am half considering keeping this one weird colored turret. But I think I'll change it out. Maybe I'll make it orange though. Like have one orange turret on here. That'd be kind of interesting. It'd also be kind of weird, but like, it's sort of cool. Maybe I'll just make it completely red. That would also be nice. Just having this one different colored one, I think that would be kind of neat. Does the tracker fit in a small utility body? Yes, it does. Current turrets that you'd use? Oh yeah, that would be relatively easy to do trigonometry for too. Since they're all on one plane, like you can use similar kind of offsets. Similar, not the same, but it's relatively easy. It's less measuring required. Also, as long as you snap them all, it should be decently doable. Oh, not the layout though. Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, are you gonna have them on different planes? That will make it harder, still doable though, because we can measure with like beams and plates. But it's a little more involved. Still very doable. But yeah, seems reasonable. Is it possible to make a hover tank in the game? Give me a minute. Because I will show you the answer to this. Which is, I think, already kind of a big spoiler for what the answer is going to be. Jesus. Someone parked their large ship in here. Okay, so I don't... Well, I guess I can take my laborer. That's a little bit more controllable. Can you place a seat on the turntable thing? Yes, most definitely. I actually, when I'm going to this shop anyway, I can show you a ship that does that. If, of course, my laborer is willing to spawn. Hello? Oh, it's... Okay, there we go. It's here. Oh yeah, this is a bit chunkier than I remember it being. Whoops. Yeah, I'll show both of those answers. But it's pretty neat. Yeah, having a turntable seat is actually really useful. You can also put them on like robot arms or whatever you want. Wow, the ship isn't actually that much... Oh boy, the lag. Isn't actually that much more controllable than my my big ship. But oh well. There we go. Okay, there we are. Now let's turn on some light. Hover tank, you said, eh? Which hull is that? Is it this way then? I think. Yeah, it's this way. So, in here in the Epic shop, which is our company, Epic. A ship not up to the... Oh, this is nice that they added this. Anyhow, this is an old one, but the concept is still the same. We have a hover tank. I wouldn't buy this one right now. I don't think it's been updated yet, because it still says ship not up to date. But yes, it is most definitely possible to build hover tanks, and they do work on the moons. This one was built to run on the moon. And we've actually had a tank battle on the moon with this kind of tank. Not just this one, but similar ones. And this one did take part as well. So yeah, it is most definitely an option to go and have a moon tank battle. Oh, it did already use the laser designator, so it's not that old, but it is still relatively old. Anyhow, that's for the tank. And then for the moving seat, we have another set of ships here. Which are ships that I've built. The tank was built by Subaru. But these ones, well, that one didn't have the moving seat. But I think these ones do. Yeah. So if you hop in here real quick. I need to update these still, but we have, like, you can't walk past here because it's too narrow. So I thought, you know, why not add a chair that can turn? So now you have more space. You know? It's a simple thing, but it works really well. Oh. And even if you're just sitting here, you're going to say, yo, burp. And you enter inside the cockpit instead of, I believe, when you're in here. Yeah, it'll throw you out. So you can stay inside the cockpit when you leave, which I would say is a useful thing to have. So yes, turning seats work. Imagine airdropping these bad boys on a moon base. Hell yeah. And now that we have the tow beams, we can actually do this. This is actually a strategy. They're not... I wouldn't necessarily say they're the best kind of ships to use in, like, combat, because it's still obviously superior to have actual air ships. But it's really freaking cool, the fact that you can take a couple of tanks, have some, like, carrier kind of ships come in, and just dunk down a few tanks onto the surface and, like, freaking destroy someone with air hover tanks. How cool would that be? I would... If my base was attacked by a few dudes with hover tanks, I wouldn't even be mad. I would just be sitting there like... That's pretty cool, you know? That's pretty sick. There's actual hover tanks coming into my base right now, and I don't have the means to fend them off. But I can just sit here and enjoy the scenery and look at the freaking tanks rolling by. Because they're in Starbase and hover tanks, so they're cool. So the red light really adds to it. I think a few ships here have been removed, because there used to be more here. Interesting. I should update these as well. This is the ship I've been, like, kind of reworking now. The Peregrine is like the new version of the What did I even call this one? It's been a while. The Hornet. Oh yeah. The old Hornet. And then this one I just need to update, but I don't yet know. I'm not actually sure. This one might still function. And I have a new version of it as well. Posted a pic of the layout. Let's see. Layout, you say? Oh, okay. That should be very doable. Preferably, you'd want to measure the offsets, but that is really easy to do. You can literally just like click on them and look at your movement tool options. This is still a really cool ship as well. It's José's, and José builds some freaking sexy looking ships. Like, come on, it's just so nice, you know. What does this do? Oh, receiver. Cute. But yeah, this guy has kind of perfected small ships at this point. It's insane. I'm not sure that once I have them actually bolted and hooked up. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's head back over to let's stay on Origin 8 for now. Because this is where Munch also lives. Though I will head back to 07 at some point. It would work best if you have air superiority, then dropping these boys. Oh yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, you would probably want to already have control over like the air. Oh boy. The lag was real. You want to have already kind of own the air, I guess, and then come in, say, yo, here's tanks, enjoy, and die, please. Except you probably wouldn't say please in the war, but, you know, it's the idea. Come on, my chair isn't rolling. Okay. It seems like I'm creating holes in the ground with my chair, so it just kind of gets stuck. And that's not because I'm that heavy, because I'm not. It's because, I don't know, probably my ground being, you know, like the kind of sport hall linoleum floors? That's the kind of shit I got here. And they don't like chairs with wheels. They don't like chairs without wheels either. They just don't like chairs. So it's kind of falling apart at this point. Anyhow, what else do I need for decorative bits? I was working here. I think I do like this kind of idea for the thrusters. I might add, for example, what I did on the back here, like this kind of stuff. Might add some of that. And for that I would need a couple of plates. Like that. And then I take these bits. Oh. And add them there. Something like that. I guess here it wouldn't work as well. I guess no, it still would, because I can just move this down. And this has space. Because I totally prepared for this. Yes, yes. Absolutely. Very much all thought out. Yeah, let's maybe not do that. Let's add this, like, remove that one, and then take just these, and then do a little bit of bloop. There we go. Now we have at least a little bit of coverage for the thrusters. I think it looks a bit better. It's not like they're fully covered, but I kind of like that idea. You know? You added all the prop tanks, and I remember when I said it would be 400. It's 444. Wait, you have 444 propellant tanks? Or ice stacks? I assume that would be. I hope you don't have 444 propellant tanks. Because then I would call you insane. Oh, stacks of ice needed. Thank God. I would have... Yeah, even I would have been able to call you crazy for that. How many stacks of ice do I actually need? How many tanks do you have? It's only 55 stacks. You have an excessive amount of tanks. I think we can at least conclude that. I want range, but I don't want range for the moon and back. Fair enough. I think you should add more tanks. Seems totally reasonable. Something like that. Then I guess I can add them to these as well. The bottom ones don't really need it. These ones. I'll just add it to the side ones and then the top ones. Let's do actually the right type of rotation. Boom, there we go. This can go, and this I can just copy over to the top as well. Now, this'll go here. Alright. Oh, didn't mean to select that. This works. It's far from perfect, don't get me wrong. This isn't like super pretty kind of covered thrusters, but I do kind of like it for this specific ship. You know, I am a fan. Like, this is meant to be sort of more industrial, so for that I think it works. And I'll probably add those same kind of covers here, though I will, I still need a way to add hardpoints here and not make it look terrible. It's also because you can't easily refuel at Munch's station. I see. So I need to bully Munch that his station is inferior. What I might do for the hardpoints actually. Let's take one out. Should be just about straight. And then we take a couple of these plates. And we just do a little something like this. We add some triangles. I think that might work. Just covering them up. So there's like something around them. They're not, like they wouldn't fully cover the thrusters, but that is fine. This would just have like something around them. Which adds a lot, I think. Just like that, and then have that on here. You know? It would be similar to these plates in like how much they cover. But it would like allow me to mount on this. Can you print heart? Yeah, I'm not sure it's that hard, but there is. Yeah, it's probably the like the heart. There's the like the card suits kind of characters. Those work. Those do work. Like hearts, clubs, spades, and jack. No. What's the last one? What's the last one in English? I don't actually know. Man. Just goes to show how good my English is, yes? It's 003. Oh. I just removed the chat from my screen by accident. Just 3. So ASCII character 3. ASCII devil. Wait, is it 3? No, it's not 3. We're not talking about the same thing, are we? Oh, it's alt code 3. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, those work. Those work. Alt 3, that character works. I'm not sure if you can type it in with Alt 3 in game. I don't think so, but you can just copy it in and it'll show. Actually, no, I can't show you right here. You can write it from keyboard with Alt plus 3. Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, that one definitely works. Like the entire set there, like that one and then the other card suits work. This site's kind of interesting, by the way. It says ASCII code for heart symbol. ASCII code does not include a heart symbol. But then it shows... Oh, it's it's extended ASCII. Yeah. Type 178. I would have to do this in like a different piece of software, I think, right? I don't think I can type this in game, can I? Well, that doesn't have a device field. Yeah, alt codes don't work in game, sadly. And not in my browser either. Well, this is fun. Guess I can go on Discord and type it there. Doesn't work either. Oh no, wait, it's numpad. Duh. Oh yeah, no, 178 doesn't work. Yeah. 178 doesn't, but the 0 or Alt 3 does work. Which is very nice. What's Alt 4 then? Is that the other? Yeah. All 4, 5, and 6. Those all, like 3, 4, 5, and 6, they work. It's a really random set of characters they have. Like, it almost seems like someone just went through and just started smacking their keyboard. And just when they hit like a random character. It's kind of... I don't know. It's just weird, you know? It just doesn't work. But yes, it is all fine. Yeah, these I can add, and then I'll have to have this. Shall rotate a bit, and then I'll need a utility thing. These, yes. Then we'll add this on there. Oh, if I can. There we go. We'll need some of the capacitors, obviously. Which are... They're not in here, they're in tools, aren't they? Yeah. Duh. Because that's where the tool body is, too. And then we'll need ore collectors. Because obviously a mining ship needs collectors as well. And these can just be fixed. I don't need them to be, like, fancy angle mounted. Like, I could do that, but it's kind of a lot of effort for no real gain. I just need to have some coverage around, like, the center-ish, which I think these should provide. Mostly, anyway. And otherwise I'll just... Like, I can test that beforehand. Otherwise I'll just angle them up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Or I'll just wiggle the ship, you know? It'll be fine. I'll be wiggling the lasers anyway. So it should be all good. Alright, I don't... You know, I can add these. I can add these. And then... I think I'll start heading off. Because it is getting quite late. Oh, getting this done is gonna be quite hard. No, they have a center snap point. That makes life a lot easier. I'll take these off for a second. I'll take this whole bunch, and then I'll grab this hard point. Say, yo, I want you to go on there. And I'll just flip it a full 180, and boom, we have a hard point. And then I'll do the same for these sides. Isn't that just beautiful? Say home. Say that's not oriented correctly. Let's actually make sure we have it rotated the right way. That would help. For some reason, shift move, so like faster movement, doesn't work while in... While having the snap tool selected. I don't know why that is. It's really weird. And I don't like it because I use the snap tool a lot. And being able to move quickly... I have my normal movement speed set relatively low. Because I prefer to move quickly only with shift. But now that becomes really hard when I use the snap tool. Okay, now we cram this in here. There are random triangles. Do they work? Those I wouldn't dare say for sure, actually. Try them in a second. Ooh, does this not fit? Uh-oh. Come on, let me rotate. I think I may have found an issue with my design. Yeah, that doesn't fit. Ooh, that's thicker than I thought it would be. I'll have to figure out something to make that work. Shit. Okay, that's for another day to worry about. That's not for now. I will figure something out. I'll probably end up cramming them like in here maybe. Kind of worked into the side. 30 and 31. Gotcha. But I can just copy them from the chat. I will open the Peregrine. Because there I have a nice test bed for the new displays. And then I can just say, yo, this should just be empty right now. If I say input, it shouldn't do anything. So I can just copy these two arrows. I think those might just work. Not actually sure if they do. Nope, they don't work with YOLOL. Do they work in YOLOL chips though? Let's see what happens if I add a YOLOL chip. Does it work in here? No, those don't work. I am afraid. However, the heart does work. And I think it also works directly into the display. I think that works in the UTOL anyway. UTOL and like actual YOLOL chips are slightly different, which is really strange. Yeah, that just works. Who did this? I don't think I want to know who did this, but it is true that the total set of things that are like available in YOLO in general is incredibly random. It's like, it's literally as if someone just like held down their alt key and started smacking their numpad with their forehead or whatever. It's so weird. I don't get it. I don't know why it's like this, and I'm not sure I want to know why it's like this. But overall, it's just a massive, weird kind of half-pane deal. Okay, will these still bolt from here? Oh, they do. Ha. Huh. Easy. Okay, that means connecting this all up. While the frame is all snapped, the thrusters are not. But that means connecting this all up will be really easy still. And that makes me very happy. Because easy is good. The same goes here. Like, this isn't... Like, these aren't attached or anything, these frames. But I can just say... Take this weld tool. Take a weld block. And just weld it down. The weld blocks are gonna make my life when building this ship so much easier. I couldn't imagine we would get these anytime soon, and then suddenly they just dropped the bomb on us. Like, I think we were talking to Axeli in the Starbase Discord, and someone was complaining about weld blocks, and we just kind of asked, like, yo, or someone was saying, yo, weld blocks, those are like one of those things we'll never actually get. You know, they show them off, and they'll never actually give them to us. And then Axeli just came in, like, I think it was Axeli anyway, like, yo, there's a preview for them in the patch notes this week, or in the progress report this week. And we're like, well, that's promising at least, but then we'll probably never see them again, you know? And then I think the next week, the patch notes were just like, the patch notes didn't actually include them. And then Kai said, yeah, so weld blocks are in these update. And we were like, but why are those not in the patch notes? And he was like, oh, let me fix that. And then he actually added them, and they were actually in that update. It was just like, what the hell? We have these now? Okay, we didn't expect those anytime soon. Like most people didn't expect them at all ever anymore. And then suddenly we have them now. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, there is no documentation for this. No. There's no documentation for what is in the, is available in YOLO character-wise, I think. It's also, like, kind of dependent on what's available in the font they use. But that is slightly less so. It's mostly just what's available with what they made available, I guess. It's really weird. And I'm not sure what kind of advice I would give for it. Mostly just make sure you have some, like, aspirin on hand so you can get rid of the headache. Because it will give a headache. Maybe probably multiple. It's really strange. Just, I don't even know what to say. Anyhow, while the ship still looks very similar to what we had before, it's a bit different with all the red stripes on the thrusters and generators and stuff. And this one orange turret we have on the front now. But it mostly looks very similar from outside, but the inside's a bit different. We have different generators, we have fuel rod racks here, we have different thrusters. We did a decent chunk of work. We have all these heat sinks now. It's all good. But that will be it for today. Because I am quite a bit over time compared to what I normally stream until. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream a bit. And I'm glad we got a bunch of questions from people. Now that's just unprofessional. What is? The lack of documentation. It is. But it's also, like, I understand why they don't have documentation for this, because it is just a mess. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the questions and all the chats, because that was a blast to just talk to you guys. That makes it, like, that's what makes streaming fun, you know? Just having people to talk to. So good. Anyhow, before I actually leave, I'm going to ask you to, it seems like the other guy that streams Starbase a lot is currently streaming Starbase, so I'll drop a link in chat, which you'll probably see either before or after I'm saying this, most likely before. So if you're looking for more Starbase streams from a guy that does a lot of streams, I'll probably head into a voice call a little bit because I just like it's a good time talking to the people there. Here's a link. Go check that guy out. It's Munchkin. He's like the most consistent Starbase streamer out there for the last year or so. So yeah, go give him a follow. Go give him a few likes. And enjoy your night. I'll see you soon. I'll be back at least Saturday, which is tomorrow. Actually, today here. I just realized it was Friday. I have a video coming up that's already been uploaded. I just need to like finalize it and publish it on the socket tool. This little boy, which is a very good tool if you know how to use it. And yeah, that'll be soon. I'll throw a ping in the Discord. Have a good night for now, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.